Looks like
Good
Brooklyn.
evening, people, and welcome to the chat, 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 chat.
Sweetie, I don't want your cookies. If you're looking for applause, keep
The
looking.
vampire chicks of Brooklyn.
It's boring. Need a little more spice in my cooking. Honey,
This
I don't
chick is
want
probably more trouble than
problems.
she's worth.
If you had them, you could sink to the bottom. You should bring a life jacket.
Got those nice floating devices.
This love, where were
They're
you
about
when I needed you?
I do
Tell
like
me,
it.
where were you when I needed you?
Reminds me of some old
Fake ass
bitches.
bitches. When they smile in your face, but behind you it ain't well wishes. When they eating all the food off your plate and they don't do dishes.
Yeah, bitches. Why don't you
They
do your own
words and
damn
their
dishes?
actions blur and they don't know different. No time for these fake ass
Is there
bitches.
neck tattoos? Is that what I'm seeing?
You can go jump on a bandwagon. You, your money, and your lame ass friends. Go ahead and jump on a bandwagon with you fake ass bitches.
Bitches are fake. Oh, yeah, I must like it. Look at Zelensky. He's a fake ass bitch. See, we should dedicate this song to Zelensky.
He seems very
You got away
Guys
with
don't
it.
want
I
difficult.
believed you for a
They
minute.
don't want difficult.
Goody is a friend in the moment, but you had to
He
go
needs all
ghost
that.
and get lonely.
See, that's what Zelensky was ghosting. Oh, he's over there sucking up on the prime minister.
Tell me, where were you when I needed you?
Oh, that's over there.
Fake ass bitches.
Sean.
When they smile in your face, but
What's going on?
behind you it ain't
What's up,
well
John?
wishes.
What's up, Michael? What's up,
They
Joe?
eating all the food off your plate
That's what
and
it's
they
Watching
on.
don't do dishes.
I
this
think
drill.
When they
2025
words and their
is my year
actions
to
blur and they don't know
I don't know.
different. No time for these fake ass bitches.
Michael, a car flipped in front of me. And
You
that's
can go
usually
jump on the
flipped in front of me.
bandwagon. You, your money,
What
and your
happened?
Getting
lame
close,
ass friends.
I'm
Go
getting
ahead and
close to
jump on the
dying.
bandwagon with you fake
What?
I
ass
got
bitches.
freaking cancer.
You not my bestie.
What
You
else
a
can
fake ass
happen to me
bitch
this
just
year?
like the rest. See, I was all the way down. You
I
was
didn't
all
hear
the
what you
way
said.
on. Now you
This
trying to
thing is like
come
2
back
hours.
because I'm all the way on.
I'll tell you after the
Middle
music.
fingers all the way
Alright.
up. If
We're
fraud
live.
broads, I don't give two fucks. If I say something, my moves are back it. You be running your mouth and it'll match your actions.
He's like the
I
drug
ain't throwing
dealer,
shade. I'm just saying, act like it's
vampires
something
in
candied
Brooklyn.
off your own plate. Because it's not a compliment when I say
Vampire
fake. I'm
girls
just
in
a
Brooklyn.
FAB with
I
your
know
fake
them. I
ass
met them. I've seen them.
Woohoo.
They suck the
I've
blood
had a
right out
handful
of
of
you.
real ones. Put it down, had my back since day one. Never hear about them, so I know shade now. So if you one of us stand up, tired of the gossip, think you had enough. Don't worry about the middle fingers up to these fake ass bitches. When they smile in your face,
No guys want
behind you
difficult.
it ain't
That's
well
like too
wishes.
difficult. You're a young dude. I'm not a young dude. I'm an old guy. I'm an old guy. I don't want difficult. And when you're a young guy, you don't want difficult. Life is too difficult. Deb, what's wrong with my girl today? What's wrong with yo? What's wrong, honey? No. It was different when you could say, "Go make." She's a cutie. You come home,
Fake ass, man. She's telling
girl
you
cooks
fake
some
ass
nice food.
bitches.
And you're like, yeah.
She's cutie. I think they're natural too.
She's very
She is.
difficult.
She-
From the lyrics,
she's,
she just seems really difficult.
she just don't like fake ass bitches. That's all. She's telling you bitches. She don't
I
like
think
fake
that she
ass
is one.
bitches. She's like,
I'm
hey, where
calling
did this
her
one come
out.
from? No, she's just a bitch. She's not a fake ass.
She's a fake
She's
ass.
just a,
No, she's a fake ass. bitch.
she's just telling you, look, I'm a
I'm
bitch.
calling
You don't
that
like
fake
it. Don't
ass
talk
bitch
to me.
out.
No,
Fake ass.
definitely, yeah.
I bet she's not even from Brooklyn.
Wait. No, we still got 4 promos to
She's
play.
fake
But, no,
ass
we
bitch.
just stop for a second. Sometimes we play music and do promos, and we're back and forth. But we have listened to coast. That's how they do it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
She's like Beverly Hills fake ass bitch.
Listen. So I haven't turned my whatchamacallit on yet, which I'm gonna do right now. I don't have Rumble connected to the system, so let me do it right now while I'm thinking about it. And then y'all go do that through the chat on there. But really, you should just come into one of the chat rooms because I don't always pay attention to my messenger. And I do have Pal Talk open. And I may start using it for the network later on. If it starts to build a big audience again, I'll start using it for the network because y'all do ask better questions than most people do. But it would be easy if you just went to the fucking chat. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 Facebooks. There's 2 YouTubes, 4 of them. Well, you can't talk to us on Roku, but you can see our sexy asses on Roku there. Ooh, yeah, baby.
We have a big ass bitch chat too. It's up on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, and then of course there's Rumble, so you can always talk to us on Rumble. And why? Oh, there I am. Okay, I brought my lovely ass back into being. So, welcome everybody. Nice to see you, Mike. Nice to see you, Sean. Hopefully, JL squeezing in. I ain't heard nothing from Leah, but Emily Goodwin's going to stop in with us later on in about a half hour or so. She's going to come in. We're going to be talking about the All-Star book for a little while, and then we're going to be hauling ass.
I heard Leah actually abducted some aliens earlier. You know? They didn't abduct her; she abducted them.
I wouldn't
doubt it, dude. I
want Leah to get her own show because Leah is a smart little thing, but she just has other issues to work through, and nothing that I can talk about here. But she just
about mental issues, Joe.
That's just issues. I mean, come on. She stood up one day and punched a boyfriend out and knocked him out cold. Went to California for a couple of months. Came back.
So Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
They're both even.
No, Chris, I'm serious. No, you didn't know she's a Marine. Plus, she's got her truck driver's license. She can drive 18. Well, she actually has been driving 18. She's doing something else because she said she don't like doing it. Yeah, she ain't. I'm telling you, if you're a guy, I wouldn't piss her off because she will hit you back.
That's those Midwest chicks, man. You got to kind of push through as you're driving.
Well, one of my favorite videos on TikTok, they got this little hottie Chinese girl. She's about 5'10", 5'8", somewhere around. She's really good. She's always tossing these guys around and shit on a regular basis. And every now and then you'll see her husband walk in. He's about my size. And she'll go to grab him. He'll just pick her up, drop her on the floor, throw her shoe out. She gets so pissed. Every now and then she gets him, though. But for the most part, he gets her. But every now and then she gets him. He did her something the other day and knocked her in the ass. And the guy got in the camera. She punched the guy in the camera, got up and grabbed him and spun around and flipped him upside down. And then he just got tossed her because, I mean, basically she weighs about $120. Any of us could just pick her up and just toss her. It don't matter. And when you, it's one thing when you hit a guy 150, 170 pounds. When you run into a guy my size, 250, 260, or Mike's size, you're just not going to toss us. We just don't move that easily. We like rocks,
They also can't get out of the way very easily. And when they whip those 5-inch heels at you, man, and I've been there, like when they whip those heels, you got to duck out of those things will stick in the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got you down there. We see you, Jay. We see you down there.
Did you ever get hit by one of them 5-inch nails, Michael?
Oh,
yeah, all kinds of stuff. I have a whole list of stuff.
Funniest thing I ever seen.
A list of stuff.
Well, one of the funniest things I ever seen was this woman running out of her house, a pair of drawers, and she had a 4-foot bong on her head, breaking it over her old man's head as he's going out the door. That shit was just hilarious. But better than that, a good friend of mine, his name was Fuchs. It was his last name. It spells like fucks. And through Gary's a big guy. He was 6'6", about 270, 280. He's a big old boy. And he had this little 5 foot nothing, 100 pounds, tits out to here, ass all over the place. This girl was just drippingly hot. And every time they'd get in a fight, she'd run out on the porch butt ass naked. Now you have to remember, I'm 20. I'm home from boot camp. I'm actually home from service. I got a bunch of my friends there. My cousin's there, who's like 14. Another friend of mine's son's there. He's like 14, 15. Man, they would hit the window. A couple of times I thought they were going to knock the window out of the house. I'm not shitting you, man. It was like, I'm like, what the hell? I mean, she was so hot, my dog needed to stare at it. It was bad. I mean, it was just bad. Gary would always come over. Y'all didn't see that? No, we didn't see that. Even though everybody in the house was like, yeah. It was pathetic, man. What do you mean, Carl? I didn't get to see it because I had an old lady. I was dating a little short redheaded girl. She had auburn hair. She was about 4'11", 98 pounds. Yeah.
You don't mess with a redhead. I don't give a crap.
I've dated a few. No, she was mean as fuck. No, don't get me wrong. She's mean as fuck. That's why we never got married. Man.
Did she have fair skin?
Oh yeah.
No,
she was a little Irish girl. She had Irish.
She was probably a banshee in disguise.
Yeah.
Man.
And the only reason I wasn't ever mean to her is I was friends with her two brothers, and I used to go deer hunting with them. And she was a pain in the ass. I remember when I came. I remember quick story. Yeah, people want to hear something about my personal life. Okay, listen. So I come home from boot camp. I just going through a bunch of training. Just started my first round of special forces training. So I come home. A friend of mine goes, "Your old lady's effing Ricky." Well, Ricky's a good friend of mine, so but it wasn't my friend Ricky, so that's cool because I thought I was going to kill his ass. But I forgot he was off in the Air Force, so I didn't have to worry about it. He's off doing somebody else's old lady. And so I don't know. I went over. Oh, I went by her house, and my dog it came up, hadn't seen me in, like a year and a half. Dog almost knocks me down. It's in between my legs, just sitting there. I'm petting the dog. And she's telling me all kind of bullshit and how she missed me and blah, blah, this bullshit and blah, blah, this bullshit. So I said, tell me about this guy, Ricky. And she's like, oh, no. I said, boo, don't. I said, whoever told me knows what's going on. So don't lie. And she's trying to lie. All of a sudden I hear at the door, and guess who it is? It's Mr. Ricky. So, and I'm having to be careful at this point.
Last time anyone ever saw him.
Oh man! So I said, "Can I go answer the door?" She's like, "No." So she runs to the door.
For a walk in the body.
And she's trying to talk to him. He's trying to get a kiss off us, and I just walked up behind her. I said, "Dude," I said, "Get out the way." I said, "Get out the way, you little bitch." And I pushed the door open. For some reason, and the dog used to let him come in the house. All of a sudden, she was like, "I will eat you. Don't even look at my daddy." I mean, she got vicious. And I said, "No, let me put a dog up." The dog loves me. I said, "Apparently, that dog wants to eat you, dude." So I closed the door. I said, "Look." I said, "What are you? 150, 160 pounds." I said, "You're kind of skankily skinny." I said, "Right now, I'm 190 solid muscle, fresh out of boot camp and the special forces training." I said, "Do you know the things I could do to you, little boy?" And he's actually older than me too. And he's like, and he just looked, and he looked down from me, and he looked up. He said, "Yes, sir. I understand completely, sir. I will never touch her again." I said, "Well, I'm going to tell you, if I do, I'm not going to come after you. I'm going to have one of my other friends come after you who are actually bigger than I am." I said, "We feed our enemies to the alligators down here when we're done with them." I said, "Keep that in mind." And she said, I seen her about 6 months later. She came to see me in Cali. She's like, he won't even answer. I went to his house. He wouldn't even let me in the door. She said, "No." She said, "What did you do?" I said, you shouldn't have been effing somebody. You was with somebody. You should have at least had a courtesy right. Gave me a dear Pam letter and say, "Hey, look, I'm effing this guy. Too bad." And I'd have been okay. And I just wouldn't have worried about it anymore. Because at that point, I really wasn't in love anymore. I had been gone too long. I was 18 months, almost 20 months out. I'm not going to be honest. I wasn't being faithful. It's just, I figured I was going home. I might as well give it a try to work it out. But in the end, I was like, F you. But we did move in together for a while when I first came home from, when I got out the service. I can't help, she's carryable. You just strap her on and walk around the house, man. Look, Janine, this is not a PG show. It's not PG-13, not PG anything. It's barely R.
Yep. And we talk about anything and everything.
That's a personal story. Now, y'all can go out and blab it to the whole world. Hopefully, I'm never going to run for politics. I hate for this little girl to come forward and say, "That was me."
That would be funny, dude. That would be funny.
Oh, man. No, actually, it's a true story. No, it really is. And I left some more entertaining stuff out of it. It's a true story. It's just one of them
Let
things.
me tell you about my day.
Yes, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Playing Superman or something?
I was coming home from work, and right in front of me, an SUV flipped over on its roof right in front of me. And I swear to God, I saw all my life in a split second, dude. It was like, wow. And thank God for ABS brakes. That's all I can say. Seriously.
Oh, they come in handy. They do come in handy. Pumping.
And I just like, okay, so I nearly died tonight. I got cancer in my lungs. What? I mean, I don't know if I'm going to survive 2025, guys. To be honest with you, man.
Yeah, you're going to survive.
Because it just
only the
seems
good
like
die young, baby.
Oh my God! What would you
You're
guys
not
do
that
without
sweet.
me though?
That's what I'm saying.
What
Only the
would you
good
guys
die
do?
young, so your ass ain't going nowhere.
You know, you get
It's
diagnosed,
just
you got to push forward.
That's
There's a
right.
lot of
Fix the shit.
newer
that's what
treatments
I'm
these
doing.
days. There's a lot
That's
of
what I'm doing.
technology these days. I mean, you know,
But here's the crazy part, because I told Joe about this 2 years ago. See what happened? They recently started to grow, and when they took the CT scan on it, it wasn't your typical normal lymph lymph whatever they're called marks that for cancer marks, because the cancer spots are real gnarly, right? Really gnarly looking. This one is oval and it's smooth. I thought, I swear to God, guys, and please, this is not a joke. I really believe that I got probed, that they put something, that the aliens put something in my lungs. I'm not shitting you guys, and I know I
Well,
can on this.
if I would bet you money if anybody put something there, it wasn't the aliens.
Well, somebody did, man. I don't know what now, but they never saw it. And then they just had what all the doctors get together last week. This. Well, I have to get a biopsy done on it,
Yeah.
but they don't know what it is. But there's cancer cells in them. Okay,
Well,
but
that's why
they
they want to do the
never,
biopsy. They want
they
to identify
never,
what it is.
they never seen, they have never seen this type of spot anywhere on lungs or anywhere in the human body. This is brand new.
They That's the thing with today. You never know what's gonna be found and what it's gonna do. And somebody was talking about this just recently about different types of cancer coming out and how they seem to be lesser than the types before them, just like COVID was. And he's wondering if that's some kind of thing on the planet. And there's a lot of treatments now for a lot of cancer. I mean, most of it's curable. Most of it's curable. I mean, I couldn't swear about everything because I have one friend. So all together, let me think. On this station, I know of 8 hosts that had cancer. Only and one of them died. And they told her she had stage 4, and they told her she had like 6 months to live. She made 5 years. She was one stubborn bitch. I gotta say, I loved her to death. I miss her too. She was my national director. She was actually, to be totally honest with you, for ICAR, she was my conscience, is what she was.
Why'd you call her that?
Because she made sure that I stayed honest. It was a lot of temptations out there when I first started ICAR out, because we were going so fast and we were entangled with so many ufologists and had so many people's ears. It was just a lot of opportunities to do things that, let's just say, we're not on the up and up to make money.
Right.
And I'm not really into that anyway. But since she was there, because it's like anytime I rewrite a case because of new evidence, she would be the first one that would bounce it against me and say, they're going to say this is this, or this is wrong, you shouldn't have done this. And we would fight about it, usually for a while. And then we would publish it. So because I rewrote Roswell, which was her primary case in life. And she was pissed. I mean, she was pissed at me. I said, D, you didn't have all the facts, baby. Because she knew more about, somehow they had a connection to the nurse from Roswell. So she knew a lot. She knew more than frickin' Stan Freeman, because she embarrassed him one night on air. I mean, they used to debate all the time, and she just outright embarrassed him one night. And Stan had been on a network more. I've lost count how many times he's been on a network. It was so she was basically there. She'd say, Joe, what are you doing? Like when I rewrote the Betty and Barney Hill case. I remember she called me. I sent her to her, and she calls me it's like 2:00 in the morning. She's stoned. I'm stoned. She's like, "What the f- is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? What the f- is wrong with you? You just want to start shit, don't you?" I mean, this went on. She wouldn't even let me talk, dude. So we're talking for like 3 hours. She wouldn't even. Finally, I hear her old man say, "Stop, let him talk." And I was like, D, but it's right. It's what happened. I said, we can't keep lying when we find something that's true. So she did the research. She calls me a couple of days later. She goes, yeah, you're right. It's much better explanation. So, and then when we redid the Millab stuff because we had Carla Turner's work, and a friend of ours, Melinda Leslie, she was there to make sure that it went out. It's a shame she wasn't there for the blood type study because it probably got deployed differently. She had a different way of looking at things, and she wasn't an abduction girl. She was a nuts and birds ufologist. It's what she was, So she made MUFON like they were fucking sitting in a pile of shit.
Mike, I got to tell you a story. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. I'll tell after you're done.
No, we're good.
So one time when I was with Jenny on Chasing Prophecy, Jenny came up with the idea of bringing all the UFO specialists on our show. It was like 8 different people. And we invited Joe. Joe came on. I'm telling you what, dude. He ripped them apart. Limb by limb. I mean, the poor guy who wrote, 10, 11 books on 51, Joe just said, smacked him with a whip and said, "You're wrong." Remember that, Joe?
Yeah, well, when you know what you know, you know what you know. That's a difference.
No, do you remember that show, though?
No, I remember that show, yeah. I remember it.
Oh, man. Everybody was screaming at Joe because they were screaming at him
because
he was right. And they thought that he was pulling Joe was pulling a Trump on like Trump and Zelensky. Well, this dude in the middle who wrote 11 books on 51, he was Zelensky, man. He just tore into him. And
spanking time.
Oh my God!
One of the reasons I stay out of mainstream ufologists is because I find most of them don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and it's one of the reasons I don't get to speak like I used to because I don't play well with fake asses. I can't help it. Like that song we were just playing, "Fake Ass Bitches." I just don't do well with them because sooner or later, well, it's like Richard Dolan. Okay, Richard's a nice guy. His ex-wife Karen's real sweet. He probably really liked her. She hosted here for a long time, but Richard is a fake ass bitch. He started out taking work from other people's books and turning it into one book. Okay, well, that's all cool, but that doesn't make you a ufologist, and it doesn't make you know anything about really UFOs, how they work, where they are, where they come from, or who's being taken. But yet you're going to step out there and be an expert. So when I started hosting Wake Up USA, no one in the field wanted to talk about alien abductions except wackos. No one. After just 4 years in the field, everyone was talking about it. Matter of fact, them motherfuckers were doing shit like, Viola Harris. She started a whole thing, the Star People thing. She wouldn't speak to me for a whole year because I brought up alien abductions one night when she's on one of my shows. I met her again in Roswell, and she started speaking to me again, but she wouldn't even talk to me because that's how much they tried to distance themselves from it. Now they try to get all up in it as much as they can, and half the stuff they're quoting comes from me. And only because they were on my shows. It was just, but I can't bitch because in all fairness, when I started the network and started doing radio, I started doing it so we could assimilate information out to the public. So sometimes you got to watch what you ask for. I should have said it.
Okay, Joe, this is good. This is a good segue for this question. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that want to know this answer. What made you decide to start a radio station? What was it?
That was okay. That was okay. So you have to start at the beginning. So I'm hosting a support group on Pal Talk called UFO Alien Phenomena. And it was like a support group. And so the guy who owned a radio station in Riverside, Iowa, AM station, was listening to me one day. And after he kept coming in the room for a couple of weeks, his name was Jeff. And then one day he just calls me on my phone and says, "Hey, look, my host from Wake Up USA is leaving. Would you like to be the host?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" Because Wake Up USA UFO Study was a pretty good show and it's pretty well known. And it had some pretty big hosts ahead of me. So I was kind of like, I don't know, dude. I've never really hosted radio and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, he finally talked me into it. And I've said this a million times. The very first show I ever did was with Jerry Black. And we got in a big argument, 2-hour argument, nonstop. So it made the dams of his station because I had one argument. So anyway, we went on for a while. And then through him, I had met this guy who owned Pioneer Radio in Hong Kong. He calls me one day, he says, "Look, I'm going to retire. I want to give you Pioneer Radio. I said, what's it? He said, no, I want to give it to you. He said, all the servers are set up. This is where everything's at. This is how it works. Everything's paid for. You don't have to worry about any of this. He said, it's done. He said, we own this thing and it'll be there. And they actually go upgrade the service, which is really nice of them. But anyway, Jeffrey found out about it because I said, I want to put Wake Up USA on that server since we have it. It'll just be in both places. Well, he got pissed, seriously pissed. And I'm like, well, dude, I said, it's not like we put it on there yet. He said, you want to? I said, well, yeah, I want to because it's mine. And look how many, I said, we get to broadcast in Hong Kong. And he was like, no. So he said, either here or nowhere. I said, okay, well, I guess. So I went out on my own. I started UFO Undercover and I started it as a podcast and I realized it needed a network. And then a bunch of my hosts decided they wanted a show. So, a bunch of my directors decided they wanted shows. Like 14 of them started their own shows. So all of a sudden we had a little radio network with 15 ufology shows on it, good ones too. And every guest of any caliber anywhere we had on multiple occasions. Poor Travis Walton, we did a 5-way with him all in like 6 days. It was crazy. I never asked him the same question twice. He was amazed. When I ran into him at some conference, I was telling him, he said, I remember that. He said, I was amazed. He said, all in this. I said, yeah, well, we coordinated it because we wanted to sell it. We wanted it to be good. But that's what started UFO Paranormal Radio. That's what actually started it. And then Stephanie came along and I'd already been bitching. I wanted to make it unique. The fact that I didn't want to have the same politics, the same religious views, but also everybody here is here because, they're live on this network. You can't get them anywhere else. You can go watch reruns and recordings anytime you want, anywhere. But if you want to watch them live, you have to watch them right here on the network. It's a big claim, and it's like any big network in the country. That's what they want. So that's what we set it up. And then Stephanie and I was bitching because Linda was getting me some pretty good guests like Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio Kaku, and things like that. But I wanted other kind of guests that when you call them and said, "Hey, I want you to come on UFO Undercover on the UFO Paranormal Radio Network," they just laughed their asses off. They were like, that's never going to happen. And even though we started News on the Flip Side and the Centralists, they still weren't coming on because the show, the name of the station was UFO Paranormal Radio, and it was highly rated. It was always within the top 3 on every page, on the top 5 pages. So you couldn't escape it, which was a good thing for us, but not for what we wanted. So when Stephanie got here, we sat down and formulated how we were going to do the station as United Public Radio, which has been a pain in the ass ever since. It's that's just how it is when you got to transfer. But it makes you like this show. I can call up people that would not come on any of the other shows that'll come on this one because it's on United Public Radio and it's called The Chat. I bet you we end up with some politicians on this one yet.
I love this. Is a great show, dude.
Yeah. Well, News on the Flip Side, I got nothing I can talk about now, but I was talking with, I've been looking at syndicating these shows on a couple of places, and big network I talked to just today. Actually, I was surprised they called me on a Saturday about News on the Flip Side, and they're interested in this one too. But they're interested in News on the Flip Side, but they got a bunch of things they want me to change or add in. But that's something we're going to discuss later on because big networks, one of them 3-letter networks. It's been around for a long time. So anyway, enough about all of that, ladies and gentlemen. Trump is a fucking asshole, ain't he? Jesus, he put his foot so far up Lizinski's ass that Lizinski's walking sideways today, man. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
They interviewed him yesterday, and he looked like a little lost puppy, like he knew he messed up. Because the reporter asked him, do you think you can beat Russia without the United States of America, United States military? And he said, no.
He's, so far, I know Poland and some little shithole countries and Britain all came out and hugged him up and said, we're going to take care of you. We're going to do what you want. Okay, that's all fine. And then the U.S. is going to tell Poland, well, we're not going to sell you any spare parts, so fuck you. And England, really? Give us our F-35s back, asshole. And then it'll be like, oh wait, you want what? Wait, you want no, you're on your own, Ukraine. I'm sorry, we ain't giving no F-35s back. Sorry, guys, you can go kiss our asses. That's not gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen. See, that's what nobody's taking into consideration because Trump can start putting serious pressure on our allies, which sucks for them. But he's doing it anyway. I mean, he wants them to start paying their way.
All right, let me share this before we continue.
Put this on. Let's watch.
You guys
this.
have to see.
Yeah. This is great. This is fucking great.
You gotta see it to believe it. Where are we? Here we go. And that, and here we go. You know who that is?
I can't hear it. Got to turn it up, Mike.
What's that?
You got to turn the music up. The voice.
That's Zelensky right there. I mean,
are you serious?
Yeah,
yes.
Wait. You see.
That's him right there.
Oh my God.
The first one I ever thought I seen him, I thought he was gay. If I didn't know his wife, I'd have thought he was gay for sure.
He has a video where he played the piano with his penis for 5 minutes.
Oh, I don't want to hear that one. I'm not into penises, guys.
He didn't dress like that in the White House.
Is this his rock group or what?
There's probably some shit. Zelensky dancing in heels is all this thing.
Come on, man.
And there he is.
Oh, he sucked the tongue out.
That's what he's trying to do to Vance yesterday. He's trying to
He's
Vance.
pretty good in those heels, though. He should be bugging in the battlefield like that. Here we go. What's this?
Is that him?
No, I don't know what that is. Zelensky, man.
I can't help myself laughing at my ass off. It's just, oh my God, it's so funny. I guess they're just trying to say, look at these girls, they can't walk. And Zelensky's dancing away. I mean, that's pretty. You know what? This is the president of Ukraine who's fighting a huge war with Russia. And I don't blame people for what they do in their lives. Uh-oh. What's this? I don't know what this is. I think we've gone into different territory.
Oh, weird, whatever it is. Man.
Oh, no,
it's still part of it. Oh, shit.
Man.
Oh, man.
Zelensky's getting support.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, man. I'm this is like some alternate timeline or something, man. Oh my God, come on.
Oh God.
Next thing somebody will have a videotape with heels.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Well, I seen him in that pink thing, whatever that little skirty dress thing.
The hell.
No, Frank, we're not. Thank God Emily was here to see that. Jesus.
Jay said
Ukraine. When I watched that, I'm like, this is the president of the Ukraine. We all do what we do in life, but come on, man. You know, you make me president of something, you're not going to find that video in my history. You know what I mean? You know,
Jay says, someone please pass me the white hot iron poker.
I don't.
So now, you know, so Zelensky's wife is out there on $1 million shopping sprees with Gucci bag, clothes, jewelry, all kinds of lavish stuff, right? And that's all our money. It's all our money. Everything she spends is our dough. You know, it's our tax dollars, really. And the guy then he goes, you know, after Trump's deal, he goes into the UN and kind of downplays that U.S. has never helped them. We've given them $175 billion. U.S. is, and not including a whole bunch of other stuff. U.S. has never helped them, right? So I'm glad Trump spanked him. You know what I mean? And I think he needs to show that he's a hardliner and he's strong, and he did, and so did Vance. And they didn't say anything that was untrue. You know, I mean, the emotion behind it is one thing. What was said was not untrue. You know, it was absolutely true of that, and Zelensky and his also lack of gratitude. Even the big Democrats say that. that he has never even said thank you. He acts like he's entitled, like we owe this to him or something like that, But I mean, that's him in high heels dancing. I don't know. I mean, if I'm voting for someone and I see something like that, I'm not against all guys dancing in high heels. Certainly, there's a time and a place for it, but not my president. I don't know.
Remember when Zelensky told Trump that since we have a big ocean, separating them, but he said at the end you're going to feel it. What
Yep.
did you mean? What do you think he meant by that?
You think the Russians will eventually come over here and screw with us?
Yeah. And you heard what Trump said, that we know we're not going to, and we will never. And how dare you say that? I mean,
start coming over here, we're going to start launching nukes at you long before you get over here. That's not the way things work around here.
You can take it as a threat too. I mean, I'm very sensitive with statements to me.
That is a threat. No, see, a lot of people would take that as a threat because a lot of them are going to think of that as a threat.
These guys are
you're going to feel it, man. Yeah, you're going to feel it, man. Well, fuck you. You're feeling it right now.
Yeah, the Ukrainians have, various methods now to attacking ships and whatever.
Son of a bitch. What did I do with Siri? She ain't in here with me. Hey, Siri. How many people live in the Ukraine?
As of 2024, the population of Ukraine was 37,860,222.
Okay, they're smaller than Canada and California.
Yeah.
They should be a state. I think if you're under 50 million, even under 75 million, you should be a state. You shouldn't even be allowed to be your own damn country. I mean, come on. It's not even a real country.
It was part of the Soviet Union.
Yes, and it just broke its little thumb off over. That's basically what it was. The thumb of the Soviet Union got broke off. And
well, Trump is pushing for peace, and I admire that. I still, how I feel about Trump. You know what I mean? Like he's not my favorite person, but you know what? He's different. He's different. I think since he got shot in the head, he's different. But gratitude. Yeah, gratitude. Like you got no gratitude. You did all this stuff for you, and we kept you from the clutches of Russia. Without that money, without those cards, Zelensky would have been dead already, or locked up, or whatever. Whatever the case, he would have been gone. His wife wouldn't be white.
I'm going to keep an eye on what's going to happen if the Ukrainian parliament actually want to get him out. Do you think
they're voting to impeach him?
Yeah,
because of this, because of what happened. So,
or do you think maybe that's just a smokescreen by the mainstream media?
No, I think that Parliament, whoever's in charge there, who sees themselves taking over his position, I'm sure they're the ones beating the drum, as taking this opportunity to oust him. They've been at war for quite a while now, and there was no real talk of peace or anything, or coming to any kind of conclusion.
Well, the Ukrainians don't want to be in this war with Russia.
No, they don't, and the Russians don't want it either. The Russians, they lost, well over 1 million troops in Russia.
So wait, so 37 million people. No, Russians lost the troops. Ukrainians ain't lost any troops. 37 million people. How many are fighting age? Do they fight women in the Ukraine?
8 million Russians dead.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Russians. They keep whooping the shit out of Russia.
There's about 1 million Ukrainians.
They've already killed more people than they had in the Russian army to start off with.
Yeah,
but they're not using the Russian army. They're using surrogates and all kind of other stuff. Prisoners.
Remember the Wagner. Look what happened to them.
Yeah, using other type of groups. Of course, North Korea and
you don't hear nothing about the Wagner group.
Wagner's
because they got wiped out.
Yeah, leader killed.
They killed him, and the group itself was wiped out. It's one of them. He's Putin just getting people killed all over the place. No, they don't call them bounty hunters. They call them. No, they don't call them terrorists either. Oh, it's when you go fight for money. I can't think of the name right now, but
mercenary.
Yeah, mercenaries. That's what they call them, mercenaries.
They don't call them that anymore. They call them contractors. Remember what Blackwater used to be? That Blackwater turned into another company. They got absorbed by Cassell or what the hell it's called. And then they're a military Like they get their own F-16s, they get their own ships. They're military within the military, and then we hire them in service to go fight. But yet they're service, they're contractors. They're called contractors.
I wouldn't doubt it if they're down in Mexico right now.
Remember Blackwater got in trouble in Iraq when they were they got into a little trouble hanging people in the streets. Some stuff went on, and then they went after them. But yeah, no more mercs, man. They're contractors now. Contractors.
Yeah.
So yeah. But you know what? I don't know. For the people that get involved in that, that's what they get. Yeah, you get what you seek, you know. And it was like the mafia when I was young. And then, you know, I had family ties into all that. And then, you know, but I mean, even as a young child, you know what? I was listening to, you know, like in the movie The Goodfellas, there was that Lufthansa heist, right? And then after that, they were finding dead bodies all over the city of the guys who were in that heist who got killed by, you know, by their friends who that they heisted with because they didn't want to give them the money. And then, so my grandmother used to listen to WOR radio and have it on all the time. And I was sitting there in the kitchen listening, and they were finding dead bodies everywhere. They found one guy frozen solid and all that in the back of a meat truck, you know. And I was like, oh, that's so horrible. My grandmother said that only happens to people who get involved with those types of people. And she's like, you know, that's the mafia. They get involved. You know, you take them in your life and you get involved in them, and it doesn't work out well. It doesn't work out well for anybody, as a matter of fact, you know. And then she was right. She was right. And that's what they do, you know. So you want to live a good life and not look over your shoulder, you can do that too. You take the high road, I take the low road, or whatever the hell it is, right? Some people are sociopaths, and they have the, you know, they lean in that direction, right?
Right.
They're always getting in trouble. They're always looking for a bigger, better. Then they go to jail, and they learn to become better criminals in jail from other criminals. And it's like going to school, you know. And then they come out and use those new talents and abilities and get caught again and go back to jail. You know, so we need to stop all of that at some point, but I don't see that happening.
I have a question for you, Michael. Where do you see the mafia today with all this, like MS-13 and all these other gangs that are out there? Do you think the mafia still has some control over?
You know, man, I'll tell you a story. I'll expose a little bit. There's an arm of my family. The family split apart. My great grandmother was betrothed to a man here in America, and then they shipped her over from Italy, and then she was supposed to marry the guy. Then she ran away back to Italy because she didn't want to do it, you know, and whatever. Then she came back and she married him. He mysteriously died a short time later, and then she met this other guy, and then he owned at that time a carting business in New York City, you know, what they call waste management now. And they had that business for a long time, and they were part of the Kings County Waste Commission, it was called, which was all the 5 mafia families which controlled the 5 boroughs, and they all had carting businesses unto themselves. And you know, even if they hired other people, other companies, they would still maintain that carting business, you know, and that's how they get control of stuff. That's how they and then but think about it. Those guys amassed billions of dollars. At that time, they were buying all the land in Jersey, you know, all these nice areas now that they bought, all those old spaghetti factories, all that land. So eventually, you know, their sons and their kids, you know, they didn't want them in that life. They would go to college and whatever and try to have a cleaner life. And these guys all filtered out. A lot of them got busted. A lot of them went to prison. A lot of them paid $1 million fines and stuff like that. A lot of them were sold, you know, they were forced to sold off their businesses because of all that. But that turned into something else and something else and something else. And then that's the mob now. The mob, so the mafia is Italian, but the mob is you got Russian mob, you got Chinese mob, you got Japanese mob, like Yakuza, and there's so many freaking factions. And then New York City, you know, if you think the triads don't control Chinatown, then you don't know Chinatown. You got to know what gang, like, and these are big gangs, not even the smaller ones that they delegate authority down to. So so it's really not the mob, it's organized crime. And then all these people getting together and going after someone, like if you engage in business with them, it's not going to be worthwhile. I've learned that. I've seen that a billion times. Watch The Sopranos. Does it work out for anybody? You know what I mean? And then you know what's funny about mafia people or mob people? Most of them don't have any money on them. You know, they either gamble it away. They make fast money. They gamble it away. They can't show that they have any money because, you know, unless they launder it, they can't, go to the IRS and say, hey, I earned this money, you know, whatever. So it's a very weird lifestyle. You know, I went to high school with the Hill brothers. So, you know, like from the guy, Goodfella, Henry Hill, right? The guy actually who wrote the movie, part of it. I went to school with his sons, man. Both of the sons, the daughter too. They lived in South Hempstead. We didn't even know as kids, you know. Of course, you know, we're all friends with each other. And then they moved away one time, and then that was it. And then, you know, nobody said anything about it. So then my friend Frank just recently told me that the dean of discipline recently told him the FBI came to school. They wiped out all the files. They moved them around. They put them in a witness protection program. So then they were gone. But that's like Long Island, man. You're always going to run into some mobster, or mobster's kid or something, man. You know what I mean? But so what's worse, organized crime or big business? I mean, big business does it legally, right? They make the rules. They grease politicians, make the rules for them. It's like a license to steal. But you know, organized crime is still organized crime, and it's out there in a very big way. But I don't think people realize that how it is.
Do you think our government is an organized crime family?
I think that you have several organized crime. What's organized crime is racketeering, and you can apply racketeering to anything. What the Biden family has done, funneling millions of dollars into other family members, making all those deals and whatever, using his government contact to make deals. I mean, is that not organized crime, or is that business? I don't think it's business because he's not supposed to.
Well, could they file the RICO Act on them?
They could. I think that they could get them for racketeering. You know, a whole lot of them, as a matter of fact, plus bribery. You know, not pay to play. They say pay to play to make it sound so nice. No, it's called bribery. Bribery is, I'm going to give you, the politician, this money. You're going to do me all these political favors in return. Hillary Clinton did that, admittedly. I mean, they were funneling money into the Clinton Foundation, and they were using it as their personal credit cards. So what? I mean, we on the lower level break the law. We get in trouble. We get arrested, go to court, and then, you know, whatever we get is what we get. They, on that level, they make their rules. They make the rules, and nothing's ever going to happen.
All right. Well, we're gonna play this, and then we're going to come back and talk a few minutes, and then we're going to be bringing on a guest with us, Miss Emily Goodwin. We're going to be talking about this right yonder like a Honda.
Trump is very mafia-esque, isn't he? And he actually grew up around mobsters.
He's not.
He had him in his casinos.
Trump's not.
He had him in his casinos. He actually hired.
I grew up around mobsters. Trump's not.
But Trump hired a guy who was a mobster to help him run those casinos. Even the FBI thought the relationship went too far.
A mobster wouldn't even put up with a third of what Trump puts up.
So I think Trump knows how to get stuff done because, you know, I mean, the mob mentality of point A to point B. You know, my rules is no rules, and then you just do what you do, point A to point B, without having to dance around. But I think actually Trump's learned a lot since his last. You know,
but anyway, I'm putting Sean's girlfriend on now, so
yeah,
yeah.
She gonna dance in high heels like
losing it. You know, we are blessed to have networks like
talking about
MSNBC staffed by certifiable morons and pathological liars because they make my job just so easy. I just have to watch a few minutes and the lefties losing it content flows like the Mississippi in spring. Here is Joy Reid being a hysterical banshee and using words she doesn't seem to understand, like coup.
We begin tonight with a full-on crisis in our democracy, as federal workers are literally locked out of their offices while operatives working for a private citizen essentially
this
take
bitch is
over our
fired,
government.
isn't she?
If this were happening in any other country right now, I promise you,
fired her ass.
I'd be on the air calling it a coup.
And Joy Reid, along with suffering from a severe case of stage 4 TDS, that's Trump derangement syndrome, she's also an election denier. And according to the left, that makes her a threat to democracy.
They're even talking about like stealing an election. And it's making me rethink whether I do believe like election machines can be hacked. Because I've always been like, you can't hack the election machines, but they're like convincing me, I don't know, maybe you can. I don't know.
I mean, to me, in this world, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
I'm still, I mean, there are all these conspiracy theories out there about Trump and whether or not they cheated. I know you say that they didn't, but I know you kind of have
Wait
to
a minute. I didn't say they didn't.
I don't know about you, but I'm shaking with fear with this dangerous democracy denial.
Elon Musk, you know, somehow using his tech connections, because I don't want to say genius because we know he's not.
Yeah, he ain't a genius.
But those relationships or whatever, because they just seem too confident. It just doesn't add up to me with all the support that she had. And I know that for you, and because of what happened with Fox and because what you do professionally with the network, you can't say it was the machines or something like that. But if you think it was the machines, but you can't say, just don't say anything. See, this is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is there are many ways to cheat in an election. And I don't ever put it past Republicans to cheat in elections because they've been busted too many times.
Oh,
Let's
really?
hear now from a couple of women who are likely to be MSNBC viewers. Why do I say that? Because they are uninformed, unhappy, and a little unhinged.
I took my kids to school today and just dropped them off, and
These
I just
are funny. I love
feel
these.
so sad.
I
Right?
know, I
Like,
do. These are great.
we all knew this was coming, and then I think that yesterday was far worse than any of us could have anticipated. And I took the day off to just kind of protect my peace, and I plugged back in this morning, and it's just so bad.
And here is a lady who is very forthright in her opinions, except when faced with a fairly obvious but inconvenient question.
Stop abuse of power.
Yes.
In what regard?
Well, with everything that's happening in our politics, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Like with Trump?
Yes. It seems that money goes a long way right now with our politicians, and that needs to stop.
So would you say it was an abuse of power how they just like removed Joe Biden out the Democratic primary and installed Kamala Harris?
You know, I don't know that I can comment on it.
Now let's go to CNN, where even their overwhelmingly left-leaning panel and hosts are left laughing at just how crazy the Democrats sound this week.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses.
We have days to stop the destruction of our democracy. We have work to do. Tell Elon Musk to take his hands off your money. We don't pledge allegiance to the creepy 22-year-olds working for Elon Musk. We pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
And goddamn it, shut down the city! We are at war!
We will win! We will win!
And they wonder why their party's falling apart. When you look at this shit, you're like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. If I was a Democrat, I'd put my head down and cry.
Yeah, so they need the Democrats need a real leader. Okay, they need a real leader, which currently does not exist in the Democratic Party. Trump has said all of these things were going to happen. We saw him align with Elon Musk, which may go down as the smartest thing that any presidential candidate has ever done.
Now to possibly the most irritating woman you'll hear from all week, and that includes the ladies of The View and MSNBC's nightly lineup. This is the definition of educated but dumb, privileged but pitiful.
Ways that Middlebury fails its students make this sobering truth abundantly clear. This is heartbreaking. If there's anything you hear of what I'm saying, let it be this. When our hearts break, let them break open like pomegranates and burst with seeds that can take root.
Oh my God.
We are literally graduating the same month a fascist has taken office. Within 11 days, he has pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement for the second time, denied the existence of trans people, and unleashed a slew of ICE agents to arrest an average of 1,000 people every single day since they began.
Yes, don't you just love the way she talks? It's so effective. That poor simpleton is wearing both a keffiyeh and a rainbow scarf. May I suggest not trying that sort of thing in Gaza, lest you be thrown off whatever tall structure remains. Now, this privileged nincompoop mentioned her college, Middlebury. This is a college that charges tuition of more than $67,000 per annum US, and the housing and meal plan costs another $19,000 plus. So almost $90,000 US per annum to produce hysterical idiots like this.
Such as the airstrike on the Al-Shifa ambulance and the flour massacre, where Gazans ran to aid trucks so they could make bread, and Israeli soldiers gunned them down.
Come on, girl.
And most importantly, smiling from ear to ear with a bunch of kids at the beauty of the sun setting over the horizon of their displacement camp. I have immense resources at this school, and I use them.
Hey guys, Toby Mathis here, and question I get all the time is, how do I make my personal assets invisible? Well, first off, can you even do that? And the answer is yes, you absolutely can. I'm going to show you three major issues that you need to hit, and then I'm going to invite you.
Toby, shut up. Nobody wants to hear from you. Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who Fat Boy Toby was, but hey, what do you mean? I can say Fat Boy. I'm Fat Boy myself. I can say whatever the hell. You know what? I'm gonna say, don't make me tell y'all this again for the umpteenth time. Fuck are you, Asaholio? Okay. Damn.
There's nothing wrong with that, guys. There's nothing wrong with us.
You would think by now you know what my response is going to be from stupid shit. It is. What do you mean, Z-Kyle? Z-Kyle who? Z-Kyle Trump?
Uh-oh. What's that, Joe? Uh-oh.
You can see Kyle Trump. I don't see Kyle anybody, my friend. No, I'm sorry. I'm not a follower. I never have been. I thought when I was a kid, I was a little bit runt little thing, fat boy, getting beat up all the time. I figured, oh man, I'm gonna end up being a follower. Fuck that Osholio. It's not true. I can't help myself. No. It's not liking being the boss. It's just I have a knack for it. That's all. Actually, I found out when I was in the service. One of my commanders, he said, you just have a knack for getting people together and getting them to do things. I said, well, yeah, that's my job. He said, no, actually, it's not. I was like, oh, okay, it's not. And by the way, you fuckhead who said about fat boys, I was in charge of the fat squad when I was in the Navy. That's what they called it, too, the fat squad. Yep. When I joined the Navy, I couldn't even run a quarter mile. Man, I was out there. I was smoking cigarettes. I was like, dying and shit, falling over.
Fat Boy Club.
Stuff, man.
It was called the Fat Boy Club.
I got lucky because, I got lucky because I got in charge of one of the sculleries and then in charge of one of the divisional command cleanup. So I got to go running in the evening by myself. So I got ahead. So what happened was one night I was feeling really good and I went and ran an extra 2.5 miles. And my fucking commander says, well, guess what? You think you're privileged? You're in charge of fat boys now. If they don't graduate, you don't graduate. I'm like, you know what? He meant it fucking too. I said, well, guess what, guys? You're going to have to run 2.5 miles. And as it was 2 3/4 back then, actually. I said, you're going to have to make it. I said, because if I get thrown out, I'm going to throw you bitches in the ocean. I'm just telling you now, you ain't going to make it. And we worked hard too. But it was nice because I'd go through my you had to go through your classes during the day and your physical PTs and then I'd go work with them in the evenings. We started out walking 5 miles, 3 miles a day actually, and then we got that up to 4, and then we started brisk walk, and then guess what? It was time to do a little jogging. Well, the Navy does it in sections because we were in 10, 12 weeks in boot camp. Yeah, and see, them fuckers lied to me when I joined. They said, "Oh, it's only 8 weeks. It's only 8 weeks." Well, they had just changed it to 12 weeks when I joined, which is the same camp as boot camp as the Marines. I was like, "Kiss my ass." How's that? You know what? Not fairness. I learned a lot of stuff in boot camp. I'm a certified firefighter. Matter of fact, almost every motherfucker who joins the Navy can come out and get a job as a firefighter.
Yep.
No, they teach you everything. They teach you how to pass, how to deal with heavy water, how to climb through buildings. They teach you everything.
Yes, they do.
Because ships are dangerous things, and everybody needs to know how to firefight.
You should be a firefighter.
You know what? The scariest thing in the world is being on a ship out in the middle of the ocean with a fire going on.
Oh yeah, it's extremely scary. My stepson got 2 different combinations. He was on the USS Forest. Well, it was called the USS Forest Stars. They called it the USS Forest Fire. If it was always catching on fire, man. I don't know what was with that ship. It was always catching on fire.
Yep.
It was, yeah, but he saved a couple people's lives there, so he did. I only seen one fire on the Nimitz. And it was kind of weird because of where it was. It almost looked like it was in space because the flame was rolling through the hallway along the top of the ceiling. It was creepy, weird looking. And all I remember is some guy grabbed me by my shoulder and pulls me in the door and slams the door. I'm like, what? You're going to get burned. Think you don't even know what that is. I was like, I was planning on just falling on the ground, but, I guess it's probably better what he did. And it burnt up the door pretty good when it went by. It burnt all the paint off. So it was pretty hot. I don't know. Still, nobody ever told me what it was. I just remembered we had to go check all the electronics out along the halls where it happened. It almost looked like a plasma rolling down that thing. People, I don't even want to think about what the Navy used to play around back with in the day. Every now and then in Nimitz, we'd get these security jobs, and boom, we were testing shit, doing shit, going places. We sat out in the Bikini Hotel in between the Bikini Islands for a while. I don't even know what we were doing. We were just sitting there. And I was doing electronic testing all day long on all sorts of equipment. But it was also disjointed. You couldn't tell what they were doing. I don't know what they were doing. We were there for a while. There was divers in the water. There was people on the islands. At first, I thought we were out testing for radiation because we dropped some nukes there earlier in the century, but that's not what we were there for. Frank, so you on a carrier. So let me ask you something. You served, were you on Enterprise? So describe to me what happened to you when your ship crossed the equator.
Yes.
So, no, really. Well, I was on the Nimitz, and I unfortunately had to cross the equator more than once, but only the first time. It's only the first time.
I crossed it twice, dude. Second time around is the best. Okay. Can I say some stuff?
Yeah, go ahead. Feel free. Yeah, you throw it out.
Man, I tell you what, when I first crossed over the equator, I was a polywog. And across the equator, and you go through the initiation, you become a shellback, which is pretty cool, I think. It's like being a captain or an admiral, being a shellback. But man, they would cut off 9-10 inches of fire hose and cut like little slits on the one side, soak it in water, and beat your ass. Then you had to go see the royal baby, who had all kinds of shit. He's the fattest guy on the ship, and he had everything. Peanut, gross. And they would take your fist, and he would put a cherry in his belly button, and you had to go in and get that cherry out of the belly button. Oh my God. And then you went to see the royal barber. Then you went to see the royal dentist. Then you finally get to go out and see King Neptune. And if he didn't like you, you were going through that shit again. I know a dude that went through it 3 times. So on the way back, right, we had women on board our ship. And the guy who was playing King Neptune, his girlfriend was a dispersing officer, right? Oh my God. She got her ass whipped so bad. He sent her through twice. And my God, Joe. Oh my God. And then here's a quirky part. So this one girl, she had natural blonde curly hair, right? So they and she went up to the barber, and they actually snipped one of those curls off her hair, right? Oh my God. You would think it was World War III. This girl
said it was too.
It went off. Oh my God! Because
that's part of it. I mean, you don't. Man. I always told people when the first time I crossed, I was like, he said, "What?" I said, "We're not supposed to talk about it." He's like, "Really?" I said, "No, we're not really supposed to." And he's like, "Is this as bad as they say?" I said, "Well, it's. I'll tell you this." I said, "You're not escaping without getting hit." I said, "Depending on who's running what's going to happen." I said, "But." He said, "Well, what did you do?" I said, "I already knew it was coming. It was my first time across. I'd heard horror stories." I said, "I had some bourbon hidden." I just took it. I said, "Okay, I'm ready. Let's go." Oh man, I was literally sore for like 5 days afterwards. I ain't even gonna lie. I was hurting for these 5 days.
And then you had, and when you were a polywog, you were a wog dog, and they would hold wog dog fights, the handlers, and they just smack your ass. Oh my God.
I would never do that stuff, man. Like, there's no way they could make me do it. They would never do it.
No,
I would throw those guys overboard. I would like.
You didn't have to.
You know what they do? They throw them in the brig. They actually throw them in the brig.
I would be calling a lawyer and say you wouldn't believe the sick shit they want me to do.
The sad part is if you know it's in the fine print. It's actually several things in the fine print. Like they can perform experiments on you without your permission. I remember when I finally, this was like 10 years after I was out the Navy, I was bored one night and I seen my Navy contract hanging out of this closet. I sat there and read it and I was like, Jesus Christ. I mean, they pretty much do anything they want to you.
I would have a talk with King Neptune. I would take him aside and say, listen, dude, this is the way it's going to be. And you may have authority or whatever.
So be flying out the boat.
I'm going to throw you out that window. Dude, I'm going to shove you through that porthole right there.
Dude, honest to God, even before it starts.
No one's ever going to see you again.
They don't make you go through it, Mike. You don't want to go through it. They will put you in the brig for that one.
No, I'll get a waiver, man. King Neptune will give me a waiver. They'll be like, this guy's got a waiver. Don't worry about him.
all the guys we ever had on that ship that didn't go through was transferred probably within.
My father was in the Navy. You know what? My father was in the Navy. He got blown up in Pearl Harbor, man, on USS Nevada, and then they fought on hard. They ran aground. The ship was on fire. He had like fingers blown off and all this stuff going on, and still grabbing the machine gun fighting. That's the Navy. I understand. Not some weird gay club.
That Navy
weird
started actually.
Some kind of homosexual initiation they're doing there. I don't know what that is, dude. I'm not against homosexuals. I support the gay community 100%. But you're not shoving anything up anything of mine.
Anyway, we got to switch topics. I'm getting ready to.
It's going to be unhappy.
I think you know what? We just gave Michael freaking nightmares for tonight, man.
No nightmares.
Anyway, we switching topics. I'm going to bring on a guest here in a second. All right. How do you get back to my email, man? Jeez,
I'm all about revenge, man. I got Italian roots. I'm all about revenge.
Now, y'all behave because Emily's coming on. Don't be an ass.
Mess with me, mess with my whole family.
Yes. Let's see. Where is?
I wouldn't have joined the Navy anyway. I'm not a water person necessarily. I was looking at Air Force. They say best food, best accommodation.
Actually, Air Force is the best one to go in. If you want to just hang around, it's by far the best one to go into.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's the easiest time, shortest boot camp. I think
my aim was to be a pilot. My mom talked me out of it, man. It's a weird.
I wanted to be a pilot too, but me and the Navy had different ideas.
I was 17 when I talked to that recruiter, and everything was golden. And she had to sign the paper. She wouldn't do it, and then she's like, "Do it when you're 18." By the time I was 18, I was already in the music.
Navy had different
already having
ideas.
fun in New York City, man.
Yeah. So I still remember. I remember I joined. I did good on my scores, and I get to. We're doing something. We're doing some kind of testing for something. A guy says, "Well, you want to fly?" I said, "Yeah, I want to fly." I said, "I want to fly freaking jets." And he's like, "Okay." So they tested. He said, "You're doing good. You should be able to qualify." And they did an eye test, and these are different, and by enough that it would cause a problem as a fight. He said, "The problem for you is at Mach 2." He said, if you're looking at this eye, you'll think it's here when it's actually really coming from on this eye." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Dude, you're dead is what I mean. I was like, "Well, screw this."
I also have messed up vision. And what the recruiter said, what we talked about, that I may not be able to get into jet fighters, but I could definitely do C-130, something like that.
Yeah, they told me to fly planes and helicopters.
I wanted to be a pilot and then come out and be a commercial pilot. That I was planning on that, man. And the whole thing got messed up.
I'll tell you what, after being on a flight deck, I didn't want to do anything else, but they weren't leaving me there because they had other plans.
At least if you want to fly, no matter what military you're in, what branch, you can. They all have pilots. Everybody.
Yeah, they always want you to try to fly something, but
airports.
Okay, now this young lady we're bringing in, she's like 26 or something, so y'all be really nice.
Okay,
and, And I hear she has swords, so I'm just warning y'all ahead of time. Okay,
No cursing. No cursing, guys.
Miss Emily, how you doing, sweetie?
Keep it clean.
One of those two statements is true.
Yes.
I have
Which
swords.
one is it? She has swords.
What do you oil your swords with?
It's she keeps some things put away so she don't get in any trouble. You know she lives in L.A., guys. So I mean, I don't know if you can even have them things out there.
So in L.A. Come on.
Yeah, well, you're in New York. I'm in New Orleans, and he's in Pennsylvania somewhere in hell or someplace. I don't know what they call it. And Helly in Pennsylvania something. Yes. Oh no, she's in San Francisco. That's right. I forgot. She moved.
Who?
You.
I'm right here in LA.
She
Hello,
said,
Michael, and hello, Sean.
She's a Hollywood lady now. So wait, that didn't sound right.
No.
Okay, I would never disrespect her like that. No, it just didn't sound right. I don't know what that was. But anyway, what are you doing? I know we're getting ready. What are we, like 5 weeks now? 4 weeks? 5 weeks?
The Future Gala, yeah.
That's 5 weeks. This woman works more than anybody I've seen. She runs circles around the people running circles. That's what's so scary. It's y'all don't understand. So when I'm there, I'm watching. They're all running around crazy. Joni, a whole bunch of them, and then it's like that's their little circles. That's the whirlwinds going around. Then you just see Emily going. That's like, man, I wish I could get it like in slow photography or something. It'd be great.
Is it like a frantic crazy or a frolic type?
No, they got their stuff together, man.
Organized crazy.
When I first met them, I was quite impressed because they actually are very well organized. I was, because when you go to these kind of events, there's always some kind of chaos somewhere. Even conventions, long-term conventions like DragCon, which I love, and other places, there's always a little tiny bit of chaos in there somewhere. And there ain't no chaos here. They got it together. And she's the big boss. The other big boss is busy. I'm harassing him the whole time, so he don't have time to do anything. Emily brings me there to keep him busy.
Hello, Emily.
Pardon?
Jay.
Jay. He's one of the other hosts. Where are you right now, Jay? What part of the country you in? He's traveling. He's somewhere in hell or somewhere. And Leah, where are you, Leah? Leah, weirdy. But anyway, we bring Emily on because they've got something going on right now to celebrate besides all the other stuff that they got going on. And
always have a lot going on.
Yes, and John's up there in New York. He's up there harassing people in New York.
Yeah, well, he landed. He told me he's gone to find some pizza.
Yes, because and see him and I were talking about that yesterday. That's one of the bitch things about flying west to east. You lose those 3 hours, man. If you leave at 5, if you're supposed to be there at 5 your time, it's 8 o'clock. It's like, come on. That's the only downside to flying like that. Of course, when he comes back, he'll get them back. So, and he's not going to be gone long enough to be into jet lag, I don't think. No, it's Emily Goodwin.
Hi, Jay.
Yeah, no, yes. Well, I know, Jay, you've met her before, haven't you? Yeah, because you've been on the other show. It's no, she's the boss lady. Yeah, that's what we call her when we're down there, the boss lady.
You guys saw when I came on. You were talking about what?
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff.
Military bad stuff.
Yeah, and peanut butter sandwiches and stuff. We're talking about
cherries.
Actually, just before you came on, we were actually talking about what happens to you the first time you cross the equator on a ship, especially a carrier.
Yeah, you don't want to know though. This is
no. This
I don't
is
think we should rewind.
No, we got to go down to PG-13 now.
Yeah,
come on.
Let's get beyond King Neptune.
While you were
Let's just say I put King Neptune in the Hurt Locker. Me personally.
Anyway, we were talking about that, and just before that, we were doing Lefties Losing It, which is the girl out of Sky News in Australia. She is great. I don't know how she finds these people, but she finds every nut freak case there is losing it. I mean, these are people, and some of these people are pretty famous, and you see them losing it. You're like, okay, election's over. It's a month now. Too bad.
I love real emotion. I love watching somebody lose it. I mean, that's the entropy problem inside of me. I love watching
But what about Arkansas? What? Oh, you're in Arkansas. Okay. Arkansas is the cheapest place to live in the United States, by the way. Yes, how you like that? The cheapest
I'd
place
like to hear what Emily has to say, guys.
She's in shock right now. Let her absorb it for a minute.
I'm in shock because I already spent 2 hours on the radio with you today.
I was very well behaved. Thank you very
well
much.
behaved. You were well behaved. So I have 2 things that I'm a publisher. So that's my line of country. Science fiction, fantasy. So what Joe is holding up is To the Stars. I have 1, 2, To the Stars. So that book is celebrating its 75th anniversary right now. And
really?
Yeah, so it's an early sci-fi book written in 1950, obviously. And it's basically about the time dilation theory. It's one of the early books that goes into the actual science of the time dilation theory. And so we're just doing a whole thing right now with that book, To the Stars by L. Ron Hubbard. And
I was just in Phoenix with him for this book. Well, that and something else, but it's which y'all should be able to find on YouTube. YouTube has it.
That was wild. That was a whirlwind trip to Phoenix. We
it was
up the mountains and.
I was like, I'm still asleep, and they got me walking up the side of a mountain in a suit. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
It was different. We'll say.
Yes.
It was interesting though, and then it was just different. We'll just
did they whack you with rubber hoses going up to?
We have no hose whacking going on.
Initiation type of.
I did get to torture. I did get to torture a little curator girl from a museum. That was fun. That's always fun. The young are always so.
I'm glad you're on, so I can hear the dirt. I need the dirt. I need the dirt on Joe. We need the dirt on Joe.
I'm always very nice when I'm with them. They don't. I don't misbehave there like I do other places.
Yeah, and Joe, we'll be seeing him again on the 10th of April. Well, I guess before that, he flies out for the week-long workshops that we do with our writers and illustrators. Part of the
one of these days, I might actually be able to write a damn book.
Yeah, you should, and you should enter.
Well, I don't know about entering, but
you should enter
the first attempt. Let's see. So what is it? Three times I was with you. Yeah. So anyway, it came out to about 68,000 words, which I was going to just delete because it was like jibber jabber, but I put it in a file somewhere for one day, maybe when I'm just bored out of my mind, I'll look at it and see. But for some reason, there was a couple of nights there for the last 3 years that I actually was able to write about 20,000 and get them out. But my fingers work faster or slower than my brain does is what the problem is.
Dictate them then.
Yes, but that's another problem. We were talking about that on the show earlier today, that coon-ass accent. Dictator and I don't get along that well because I'll go back. See, my problem is I need to read as I go. That way I can correct it as I go. Because if I wait, then I forgot what the hell I was saying. I'm like, no, this is not working. Because I went back and read, I don't know, probably about 10 hours worth of stuff I was dictating between here and New Orleans. And a lot of it was good, but a lot of it was just, I don't, either it was distortion or I was talking low or I just had a really bad accent that day. Because it was writing jibber jabber. You were like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Just nonsense stuff. So wait, where are y'all on the sellers list now? Y'all get this thing back out on the sellers list?
To the Stars or Right to the Future?
Well, both of them.
They go off and on.
Because I know. So people, first off, you need to go out and get this one. This one was on sale last week. I don't know if it still is, but it was. It was no. When I mean it was on sale, I mean it was on sale.
Yeah.
No, you got to pre-order. Where's it at?
Amazon.
Where's it at?
Stars Amazon ebook.
Right.
It's a fun story. It's like in the theory of relativity, and so the guy goes out to space, and when he comes back, he's been gone for like a matter of months or maybe a year, and when he gets back, everyone is aged like 50 years because they're moving at the speed of light. Anyway, it's very interesting.
I like those kind of stories, though. That kind of stuff fascinates
me. Is it on audiobook?
Yes.
Because I can't read that good. I have I'm dyslexic. I honestly, if I start reading the book, it's like the first 10, the middle 10, and the last page. That's how I read.
Audiobooks are great when you're driving across the country. You're traveling, man, amazing. So much better than I mean, music only goes so far. If you're listening to something really cool novel,
damn good. Well, we just showing this book a
you
little while
get
ago.
riveted to that. The time goes fast in the
That's
vehicle because you're
How did you come up with the name of that book? How did you come up with the whole premise?
I did not. That book is 75 years old, and I am
She
older
wasn't
than
even
my
a thought yet.
I am not 75.
Well, she's like 26 or something.
Yeah.
So I forgot.
Add a couple decades, but yeah. But no, I did not write that book. L. Ron Hubbard wrote that book in 1950. So
Okay.
he came up with the premise of it.
Where the hell?
A true visionary.
Really. Well, I had book 41 when we would just a little while ago.
Oh, I have all 41 here. You want to see that?
Show everybody. I was like, yeah, there you go. That's the one we're going in for this year. This year's volume.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks good. It's got some good stories in it. I've read about. I think I'm 9 or 10 through now. So there's a lot of good stuff in there, guys. But you got to pre-order it, and if you want the audiobook, you got to pre-order it too.
Yeah. If you like science fiction fantasy, that's what that is.
No, you can't order anything through me. GalaxyPress.com. Yeah.
Are you giving away a free copy, Joe, on this show?
Maybe later on in the year. If I can talk John into sending me some. He's
It'd
tight with them books,
nice
man.
to get a free copy, Joe. You know what I mean?
Oh, Joe.
I got a hard time to get my own free copies, man.
And the free sword.
I feel it. I feel it. Look, the ones I bring back with me, I don't give away because those are all autographed, and they're weird because they're differently autographed. Some well, there's one night they autograph 500 or 1,000 books.
Yeah, there's two autographing. The first autographing session they do is about a couple hundred books, and then the night of the event, it's about 300 more books.
Yeah, so they do that. So what happens when I'm there? I'll get those autographed books that night, like everybody else does, and then I'll get some personal autographs put in them, because I know some of the people. And then on the night of the gala, I will sometimes get the families members to autograph the books as well. So, next to the person who wants autograph, it's just something different. And it's just for me. It's not like these books will ever go anywhere. I mean, maybe when I die, one of the kids might try to auction them or something. But other than that, I mean, and you never know who, and all of these books are going to be famous down the line. That's one of those things you just never know, because there's some really good writers and there's a lot of good illustrators there. So you just never know where it's going to go. But see, that's when the first time I was exposed to the stars was on the pad they sent me. It was on there, so you could. I caught it on there, and then it's like, man, there's a lot of good stuff in that pad. The pad just pisses me off every time I think about it. It's Chris. Oh no, on GalaxyPress.com they sell these. It looks like this one. They come in different sizes, but it looks like, and they're Apple, by the way, the ones they send you. But it's well, I think you get it on Droid if you want to, but you can see how much stuff. The one they sent me had everything they had on it. Probably cost about $3,000, but it was well worth it because there was a lot of material on it. Plus, it was a really nice iPad. Yeah, it was maxed out on memory. Yeah, it was a nice iPad. Yeah, no one actually knows. It became a mystery, and it's one of the ones I don't like to talk about because it pisses me off. So, and see, you're making me curse. Look at that. I said no cursing tonight. Behave yourselves.
Yeah.
Bad influence.
You said an alligator ate your iPad.
Yes. I don't know what happened to it. No, actually, I'm pretty positive, sort of what happened to it. But the guy tried to replace it. He just tried to lie, and I don't know what he did. Went and downloaded icons or downloaded part of. Maybe he bought something from y'all and downloaded it. Anyway, it was a mess. But when I got into the iPad, I realized when I started going through it, none of my personal stuff was in there. So there was a lot of pictures of y'all in there, from one of the events. I took it to one of the events and it was in there. So there was a lot of that stuff in there. And there was some other stuff. And then he said, well, that's when he said he bought me this one, which had a bunch of bullshit in it, is what it had in it. And so anyway, enough about that. See, but reason I brought it up, because he was one of the guys were asking for Pal Talk. They actually have them. You can get a chip. I mean, yeah, you can get a little. Hell, you can get one of these.
Little flash drive.
And they have one of those. They have them on what looks like a little Droid size of a phone, and then they get them on a couple other things. Oh no, it's easy. Yeah, just go to GalaxyPress.com. I think it's big, bold letters you can find. That's easy to walk through the site, search the site, buy something. Yes, buy
Is that
something.
who you work for, Emily? Is Galaxy Press?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah. So we are a publisher. We publish the fiction works of L. Ron Hubbard. And then we also publish the Writers of the Future. And we run the whole Writers of the Future competition, which has been going for 41 years, where we publish 12 new authors every year in science fiction fantasy. And what Joe's talking about is every year, the people who win and they get published in this book, Writers of the Future, they get not only published, but we fly them out to LA for a week-long workshop with the judges of the contest, where that's all like the best of the best in science fiction fantasy. If you read Orson Scott Card, Ender's Game, or Brandon Sanderson, or Larry Niven, any of the greats in science fiction fantasy, they are the judges of the contest. It's free for people to enter. They retain the rights to their works, but they do get published. And when we fly them out to Hollywood, they do a week-long workshop with those judges. And then at the end of the week, there's a big awards gala event. And then we send them out on book signing tours and media tours and all of that.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
yeah, so that's what Joe's talking about, was saying he's coming out to LA. And
Yeah, they clean up pretty good too. Trust me when I say that. A whole bunch of them look pretty good when they get all cleaned up.
Mhm. And
Are
Joe,
there any well-known authors out there with books now that went through Writers of the Future?
sure. Patrick Rothfuss, he was a #1 New York Times bestseller, Name of the Wind. Nydia Okorafor, Bindi, her recent book, Death of the Author. She's a New York Times bestselling author. She's got a show in production with HBO right now. David Farland, we've produced, our winners from the contest have produced 41 New York Times bestsellers.
Awesome.
So yeah.
I'm waiting for one to get this big, multi-massive movie so I can get free invited.
Yeah. Well, one of our judges, Kevin J. Anderson, he used to enter the contest. He was the co-producer for the Dune films that just came out.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading something about Dune Awards the other.
Yeah,
maybe
Frank
I'll-
Hubbard, who wrote the original Dune books, was a judge of the contest back when Hubbard started it. The original sci-fi greats were part of the contest. He passed away. His son and Kevin J. Anderson continued writing in that whole Dune universe, and so that's why he's producer on the films, because he writes the Dune books now. But yeah, we have a lot of it's a lot of big names. If you read sci-fi fantasy, you would recognize a lot of the names.
See,
Yeah.
that's where I have a problem because I don't read.
Right.
I don't. I mean, I can't.
You can listen to them.
Yeah.
Audiobooks are like so advanced these days. They're so, multicast. A lot of the ones that we do, they literally sound like a movie.
Oh, I prefer audiobooks. I mean, they're good. I mean, every now and then you'll just get one that's just a voice, but if it's a good voice, I can live with that too. Because that's actually pretty good voices. It's just easier on me, and especially because I do so much driving, I just pop it in, let it play. Or if I'm on a lecture tour, a lot of times I'll bring a bunch of them with me because it'll give me time in between driving places or flying places, give me something to listen to. Because I don't like to do over research when I'm going somewhere to do lectures, because then it gets, I don't know, too sterile, I guess. It's Jay, where'd you go? You went to sleep? Yo, Jay. So Jay got to meet Larry Elmore in the network. He liked to crap himself, excuse my language, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Larry Elmore, the artist?
Yeah, because he's a Dungeons and Dragons fan.
Oh yeah.
I met him. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Larry was on once. He's been on once a couple times. He's
yeah.
Larry's just fun to talk to. He's got a lot going on. And then, I'm glad to hear he's talking with April and them, because I know April loves him to death.
Yes.
The dragon people. That's what I'm going to start calling them, the dragon people. Where's this thing tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't know, April Solomon's one of the winners, and she does some really good dragons. And we've had her artwork on the network before. And of course, Larry can draw some dragons himself.
Yeah.
He might have drawn one or two dragons here and there and there. Here. And there's a couple other people we've had on that's done some dragons now. So It's interesting to see where they go. I just like that they keep in touch and talk to each other.
Great.
Well, because he's got so much information in his head.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to be absorbing all of that. No, Jenny, you can get it. I'm pretty sure it's at all bookstores. I'm pretty sure.
Which one?
To the Stars.
Yeah. See, any bookstore, but it's easiest at Amazon. I think it's on sale right now, at least the ebook.
Yeah, go. Yeah, of course, Amazon's easy for everything. Just click go and it'll be at your house on your doorstep. Yes, I know. I left a big note on my door. I said, "You see, I have an underneath my house. Please do not stuff by my door. Put it under my house. Because I live in a state where it rains a lot." You would think, because they live here, they would know those kind of things, but no, apparently not. Must be somebody from California delivering my mail.
I've had nothing but trouble with Amazon delivery. I kind of gave up on them. I stopped. Like I had to search for my packages from my neighbors. Man, it's like my number's clearly on the mailbox. Clearly on the cabinet.
Do you have porch pirates?
No, they're afraid to come in this area. I'm in the woods, man. It's bears.
Besides, Mike's big and ugly anyway. So
there's a skunk that lives out there.
He came out last night.
They won't mess with skunk.
Yeah, right in the middle of the live show, the skunk had to come visit. How you like that?
Yeah, we were in the live show last night, and the skunk.
Besides, Mike's like 4'6" or something like that.
6'5", you mean? And heavily armed with swords too.
Oh man.
Armed with swords and skunks.
See, you're dangerous.
I got ghost chilies, man.
I can see this and what
I'll jab that someone's eye.
I can see her with her boots on with an M16 shooting shit up. I don't even no doubt about that whatsoever. In time comes, I'm going to get her. She'll be handy to have around.
No, man. My sister lives. You know what? I don't want to get grizzly. My sister lives 2 miles from me, and she sent me a picture of this coyote walking through, and he had something in his mouth. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like looking at it, like, what is it? She's like, oh, it's the head of a deer. I'm like, why did you send me this picture? Why did you send me this? And this dude's walking past your house.
See, that shows you how the world's changed. In old days, that would have been you sending her the picture.
Yeah, in the old days, I was on Long Island where you didn't see any of that. you didn't see any wolves or coyotes with deer heads in their mouths. Or
nothing in the woods. Well, I see, bobcats.
Oh, we have deer down there, but you don't see them mangled by coyotes.
What kind of wild animals do they have out in LA there, Emily?
Well, if you just look out the window right now, I'll see some wild animals. The Oscars are tomorrow, and they're about to walk down the street.
You got cougars out there. They're very dangerous.
Oh, man. It's a dangerous place, man.
Earlier, if you can hear yelling, because there's all this yelling going on out there. I don't even know what it is, but they're getting ready for the Oscars, and I think everyone wants to see celebrities. And
the system's really good about picking up noise it doesn't think belongs.
Seem really thrilled about the Oscars going on right now, Emily. You don't?
Am I thrilled about it? But the traffic is not amazing. Yeah, I can't get it's the traffic's horrible when the Oscars are happening. So that's, I guess, the worst part about it.
Isn't the traffic there bad? Like no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's just bad. But
I moved off Long Island because of the bumper to bumper. 3 hours of volume traffic. Everybody trying to kill each other in the traffic, and then you're going 10 miles. You know what I mean? I mean, you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Now I just drive out, and then
Did you get affected by the fires out there?
Actually, we did. I think Joe, you did a show with John about that, right?
Yes, we were. Every time John was
horrible.
It was about from us. So I'm at the office right now, and we were at the office, and we were doing things to help, because there was the Palisades fire, which was like 10 miles to the west, and then there was the Pasadena fire, which is the 13 or 14 miles to the east. So we were like, okay, we're totally fine here in the middle. I mean, we're in center of Hollywood. It's like concrete jungle, like nothing's burning here. We do have the hills right behind us, but there's no way, like, from 10 miles away that the embers would fly and land 10 miles right here in the Hollywood Hills. So we were just sort of helping, get supplies to the firefighters over there, and just, pretty chill about, our own area. And then all of a sudden we were heading up, we were going to have dinner up on our rooftop up here. And then we get this alert on the phone. There's a fire in the Hollywood Hills right next to the Hollywood sign. And we're like, what? Can't be. So we went on the roof, and then 42 acres is like burning, coming down the hill right at us. So that was interesting. It stopped about 3 blocks from us there. And it was
scary, right?
It was pretty scary. Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was like surreal, like just seeing it right in front of you like that, just coming down towards you. Fortunately, they got it out.
The force of nature, you know.
Satan joined the conversation.
Heavy duty.
Hey, where in the hell you at?
We are in a Cracker Barrel in somewhere in Arkansas. I don't know what city we're in.
Hey, when you ain't talking, you got to delete, man. Sounds like hell coming out of your mic.
Arkansas.
Yeah, we're in a restaurant, so let me turn the mic off.
It's I thought hell joined us for a second there.
That's what I thought too.
Oh, man, it's like, what the hell is this Halloween?
You ever go to a Cracker Barrel stoned? Because they got all that Christmas crap. It's like it's overwhelming, man. Talk about like horrible.
See, we're cutting you off. Remember, we discussed this the other night. What was Sean saying last night? You need to be sharing whatever that hell you was on last night. Oh God, he couldn't stop laughing. I mean, it was like an hour.
He was feeling good last night, man. I'm patriotic there, but I celebrate the laws of this country.
Oh, hold on, let me find it.
I wrote a book, man. I'm looking for a publisher. Maybe I should send you a thing.
It's really is it fiction or nonfiction?
It's fiction. It's actually called God, General Organizational Data, and it's a dude who comes up with a software program. He injects himself into the software. He ends up infecting all software, gets in control of weapon systems and whatever, and then he himself designates himself God. And then if people step out of line, he'll launch nukes against them or whatever. It's a really cool story.
Wow. And you wrote it
on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I just finished it a couple months ago or whatever. But you know what? I'm thinking like, I should put this out there, man. I was looking at Amazon or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there is benefits of self-publishing these days. How long is it?
Oh God.
How many words?
Oh, how many words? I don't know. I have to think about it. I haven't gotten to the point where I've organized it like that. I'm doing my edits. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Writing for the Future accepts up to 17,000 words. They're like short novellas. So if it's within that, yeah.
I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, have a look at how long it is.
What's that?
Have a look at it and see how long it is.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
It's going to motivate me to finish editing it.
Exactly. And then there's also, if you want to, brush up on your writing skills, we have a free online writing workshop at writersofthefuture.com, which is taught by, don't know if you're familiar with Orson Scott Card. He wrote Ender's Game. They made it into a movie with Harrison Ford. Anyway,
I was a professional writer at one time. Sure. At one time back in the day, entertainment writer for Good Times Magazine.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Lots and lots, not fiction. They're a very real world, but a lot of reviews and all that. It was a lot of fun.
It's writing.
Yeah, the unforgiving world of writing.
Like I told John on our show when John was on one time, I need a ghostwriter because I'm from Pittsburgh and we have different accents and we write and talk differently. And if you would read my writings, you'd be like, oh my God, Sean, go back to school.
No.
It's that bad. I speak a lot of double negatives, a ton of them. And, so I need a ghostwriter.
You know what, man? A very smart person told me start at the end, and that's what I did. I started with the last chapter, and because you have that amazing ending, and then you kind of backflow, and let the story kind of design itself.
Dean Wesley Smith and Kevin J. Anderson told me that. I was asking them something about it one night. They said, "Yeah, you should start it then and work." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." I was like, I thought they were messing with me at first, but they weren't. Like, explain, please. I gotta say, I've learned a lot from them guys.
You just have
Emily won't let me put it into a course and sell it. Though. I've been trying to let me.
I used to have an editor.
Make it a
I
course.
don't have an editor anymore.
You need an editor?
It'd be nice, man. You know, you don't like everything they do, but at least they put things in its place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is good to have somebody look at your story.
Yeah. When I was an entertainment writer, I would do about the paper came out twice a month, and I do about 15 to 20 articles, you know, per, and you just kind of blurt it out. These are, you know, music business venues, you know, reviewing shows and whatever, and then, you know, it's good that you kind of remember it to begin with when you're there. You know, like everything going on. You know how it is. Like when things are chaotic. You know, I was a judge for the new music seminar in New York City for a couple of years in a row, and it was like, I don't know, 50 clubs and 2,000 bands, and then you run in and they got 3 songs each. You got to kind of review that and then go into the next and next. We did that for quite a while. I don't know, it was crazy, but I loved it. Loved the chaos.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah.
And what did happen? You said you were judging. What happened when they won?
You know what? They had like 8 judges, and we'd all go in and kind of put everything in. And you know, I mean, they won that. You know, the new music seminar. They won the awards and all that. And they had a whole thing. I didn't go to the awards because I was too jaded. I was like, I'm not doing that crap. You know. They're like, but you're a judge. You should go. I'm like, bah. You know, but it was more about. It was cool. It was cool. You know, I mean, I did it. You know, I didn't go to Lollapalooza either because I was like, no. You know, I wanted to be a real journalist. You know what? That was my fight. I was enjoying what I was doing. I was meeting cool people and going to, you know, I had carte blanche in any club in New York City, tri-state area. You know, I mean, backstage or whatever, which is cool, which is super cool because a lot of people don't have access like that. And then I was like, man, you know, I just felt like I was kind of a stooge. Okay, this person's an advertiser. Go write them a great article. I'm like, but what if it sucks? You know, if it sucks, I don't want to write it because I don't believe in negative articles. Why waste the space? You know what I mean? And then no, but they're an advertiser. You have to. I'm like, Then I got on television.
Yeah,
and I met Joe Montaldo.
You can be involved in this stuff.
Joe
Man.
said, "Express yourself."
My own damn business.
Come on here, Joe and Stephanie. Come on and express
yourself. If you're watching this, ladies and gentlemen, by any means out there, and you were looking for the address, I posted it on all the Facebooks and all, but you can find it scrolling across the banner down there, right behind Emily's name.
Oh yeah,
you
can grab it from there. WritersOfTheFuture.com. If you just want to learn anything about writing, that's the place to go. There's lots of good videos. There's lots of good stuff there. I've made it through the course like 4 times 3/4 of the way. Actually, in all fairness, I made it all the way up to where you got to write the story. Yes,
She's motivating me to edit this stupid thing tonight. I'm gonna be up all night.
Emily, how many stories have you written, or did you write any?
I just a few. I do the publishing side and the public relations side of things. So I write the newsletters, I write press releases and marketing copy and all of that, but I don't sit there and write the stories.
You never wrote a story?
I wrote a few, but I didn't publish any.
Oh,
you know, it's so nice when you can write and be creative.
I can't submit to the contest. I run the contest. So.
Can you and give it to Joe?
You want me to give you stories to Joe?
No, nobody's going to believe I wrote anything. So that's not.
It'd be his ghostwriter. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah.
I actually thought a couple times over the years about getting a ghostwriter. I mean, I got a lot of good stories. I got a lot of good stuff. Got a lot of good stuff broken down for other types of books, but I just and to be honest with you, I actually know a lot more now because some of the stuff that held me back in the past was simply understanding how to fill the spaces. I actually understand that now. It's before I was like it always sounded like a documentary when I was writing something. Always. But now I actually understand some of that a little better. And I do understand the concept of putting the end of the book first, or it depending on what it's about, but that sounds interesting. The only one I really want to get out is that Gulf Breeze one, but it's so long. I don't know how to shorten it down. It covers 9 days. Well, the problem is it covers 9 days. Now, not all of them 9 days is necessarily stuff going on, but it's hard. Like I said, I was at 68,000 words, and I think I was on day 3.5. maybe day 4. I mean, I'd have to break it up in like 3 different things. Because it's just there's a lot that went on. Just the night we spent with the mayor of Gulf Breeze and the police chief and the people from Ancient Aliens and not Ancient Aliens, from Unsolved Mysteries. That alone, damn, take up freaking a quarter of a book. Just the amount of information that was swapped between the bunch of us that were there. And to hear the mayor of Gulf Breeze talk about this regular event that happens in his town was just creepy weird. It gave me, and even though I was in the field, it still gave me the willies. I was like, wow, and they had 2 people from the local guard unit backed him up, a lieutenant and a colonel. Said, yeah, it's just a regular event. And nobody believed it. And then we all stood out on the pier that night, and sure enough, they come underneath in the water, glowing green. Went under the bridge we were in, went under the train trestle bridge, came out on the other side, raised up out of the water, glowing all goldy, shit rolling off of it. Looked like big globs of gold rolling off of it, hitting the water. And sat there for a couple of days, making a couple of, and think of this, there was 500 people on this bridge. 500. There was professionals out there with movie cameras. And still nobody got anything. And this thing just went, it kind of floated up a little bit, and then poof, it was gone. And for as far as I know, it may even still be happening today. It was just something that was regularly going on. And we weren't even out UFO hunting this whole trip. We were going on a 15-day vacation to go up and down the Gulf Coast. We wanted to go all the way from where we lived from the Gulf all the way down to Tampa, cross over, come up the Atlantic, go to the oldest city in the United States, and then catch Interstate 10 and come home. 15-day trip. And just hanging out on different beaches, lounging around, just doing nothing really. We'd been working our asses off, and bam. 11 days out of my life, it completely gone. Completely. I don't like to think about it. Well, when I was young, I could say okay because I've lost days before, but not because of things like that, because of other things. But meeting people that I shouldn't have, trips with stewardesses to other states and things like that. You lose days like that, but it's not like this. This is a whole different thing.
Man, why you talk like that, Joe? Emily's a good girl, man. Look at her. Look at that smile.
Emily. Don't even let Emily fool you, man. It's one of the things I like her.
And you're talking about going on flights.
She's Hollywood, dude.
She's Hollywood. She would beat all of us donuts and biscuits in New York. I mean,
she would kick our butts, man. She's Hollywood. You gotta be tough.
Last time she was down here.
Emily, my nickname for the people boys here is Dexter.
Okay. Hollywood is tough. You gotta be tough to be in Hollywood.
Because I am a meat cutter.
Canada originally.
What's that?
You what?
I was born in Canada.
You gotta be tough to be from Canada. You gotta be tough to be from Alaska.
And I lived in Florida for several years, and I almost think you have to be tougher to live in Florida than California.
Oh, yeah,
the swamps. Joe's got the swamp thing.
Well, Florida's dangerous. The other day, they showed a guy pulling out a piranha out of a Florida bayou. I mean, the thing was literally this big around. It's a piranha that grows in the Amazon this big. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what is this thing eating down there? And now you're getting to watch the pythons and the crocodiles fight with each other.
I don't know.
See, I'm from New York City, man, where the people are the most dangerous things. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, I was more afraid of Florida man than the alligators.
Oh, yeah, and I'm with Emily on that. I'm more scared of Florida man myself. They got some weirdos down there, man.
Yeah, well, Miami isn't such a kosher place to visit. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was kind. I'm not. Well, I was glad I got out of Miami. I was glad I was there for one night and got out. That's all.
Wow, one night. That was it, huh?
That was it. Went to the dog track down there, and I said, "Okay, it's time to go home."
I've spent a lot of time in different times in Miami, and it's not anything recently. Where I want to go and I haven't been in like once in my life is the Florida Keys. I want to go spend some time just rolling around in the Keys, maybe go hang out at one of the most famous authors in the world's house.
It's so expensive, though. You know what the problem is, man? Though it used to be
nobody. So I can stay at the Hemingway place for less than $100 a night. But I've got 2 of my customers keep yachts down there, And they always tell me the same thing. Well, if you're down there and the boat's down there, just give us a call and you can, hang out on the boat. And I'm like, okay.
Why?
They'll call it. And you know what? Anytime I talk to these guys, they'll call it a boat. If I call it a boat, they get pissed. I mean, they do too. Joe, it's a yacht. Oh, okay, it's a yacht, but you call it a boat. No, yeah, you do. They got jet skis and all that, and they got people servicing the boats, and I've gone down there with a few times. These are customers I've had for 20, 25 years. They're like, oh yeah, just going down, just let me know. Don't take the boat out now because you got to have a license for that. But
as a private investigator, I'm massively suspicious, especially coming from a very large Italian family and from the city. Man. Massively, and people never offer you anything unless there's something involved.
Well,
you know what I mean?
They offer to me because they might need favors in the future, or they owe me things.
Here's this boat, and all of a sudden you discover a dead body in there, and then you're like, hey, and then when you tell a judge, I don't know where that body came from, they don't believe you. They don't believe you. You should see the way they look at you. I don't know. I never looked in that shed. I have no idea how those bodies got in there. I've just been renting the place for 6 months, man. You know what I mean? That's not good enough. I'd be like, okay. Yeah, man. Use this boat. Hey, you want to borrow my car?
Oh no, he ain't gonna let you use cars now. Oh, that
all
shit.
Of a sudden, Bubba pulls you over on some back Florida road. And they're like, "Hey, what's your
I got 3 customers that would give their wives before they give their cars up, man. I'm not kidding you. They're serious about their cars, man. But they're like, no. They don't even like you leaning on them and shit. They get all upset about it. And from old to new. Well, yeah, you take the boat out, no problem. You want to use the house up in the Hamptons? Yeah, no problem.
Well, us Northerners, we fear the South. You know that. We know that there's some stuff's going to go down. We got to go down south. Some stuff's going to go down. You know what I mean?
It's funny because 2 of my customers, they have boats and they got one down in they keep them down in the Keys. They got some up in New York, got one out in LA, and 2 up in Seattle. They all have boats, and they're all like, anytime you're in those areas, if you know how much these boats cost, you'd be like, what? Then I remember the first time he told me about the one in Key West. I said, well, what did you pay for that? And he said, it's about twice what my house cost me. Well, I was one of the contractors on this house. The house cost $4.5 million.
It's a big boat.
Yeah, it's a monster boat is what it is. Oh, and then Chris got him one. It's a catamaran. It's a double wide, beautiful thing. So it opens up things. The little jet skis drop out from inside, go into the water underneath the boat, come out. It's crazy stuff. They have places you load. It's got a on-side barbecue pit, so you can barbecue while you're in the water, which is just really.
God. Wow.
They got a nice one in the back, a whole grill area that comes up over the engine casings in the back. I mean,
just give me a charcoal grill on my back porch. I'm good to go.
Oh man, they got 6 bedrooms. It's the things are beautiful. And Stewart's my nephew's, he had 26 bedrooms on his boat. It was a beautiful yacht they kept out in the Mediterranean. It's big, yeah. Yeah, they had its own.
They're rich, it doesn't matter. They can just throw money at it, man. When you're just
well, he's gone. He passed.
You're like a normal person. You own a boat. It's really like a hole in the water you throw money into, man. I had that boat. I don't know. It's just I loved it. I fell in love with it. I'm a hopeless romantic. It was old. It was like a really beautiful, man. 1963. I had mahogany rails, teakwood deck. It had bathroom and all that. Like twin 289s, man. Like Mercs. Awesome boat, dude. And I was so stupid for my stupid dumb stupid for buying it. And then it was 30 feet long and 10 feet wide. You couldn't really trailer it. You got to rely on these boat dealers who rip you off because they see you coming. They laugh at you. Here comes that stupid idiot. Yeah, me. I'm that guy. The boat, what I paid for the boat for owning it 2 years cost me twice as much to store it and do all the stuff you got to do as wooden. So you got to soak it to put it back in the water. And these guys don't want to do that because then you're using their lift system for 24 hours. And then they could be putting 25 boats in. Yeah. I learned my lesson. Hey, you know what my lesson is? You rent boats and be fully insured. That's my lesson, man.
You can rent them down here pretty cheap. I mean, I got rid of mine.
Look for the body before you leave.
I got rid of mine because mine was getting dangerous. We kept fixing it more and more.
If you like to go fast, it's fun.
Oh no, I bought this one after Katrina. This was a deep V hull, had a monster 500 engine into the hood. It was just unbelievably fast. And the first time we took it out, we were jumping waves. We were clearing 5-6 waves at a time, and I broke one of the mounts on the engine, and right off the bat. And then it took 2 years to get it fixed because it was after Katrina. Nobody had anything up here to do. Then I got it fixed, but I noticed we'd be cruising in the Gulf 90, 95 miles an hour. I got to thinking, man, until you hit a wave at 95 miles an hour the wrong way, you're screwed. It's you run in the bays. Well, it's DV, so it's made to cut through waves, but still, those speeds. I said, yeah. So, and I wasn't so much worried about well, I had one of them too. But no, I got really.
I want to know what Jay is eating.
Do what?
Jay's eating. No,
he's at the Cracker Barrel. What's he having?
Yeah, he just flashed his food on the camera there.
Is that
you a dog? I ain't even
fried green tomatoes.
Oh my God!
Time I had fried
Emily's
the only skinny person here, except for Jay. Y'all can't be flashing food.
You said the magic word. Now you said food.
Food.
Oh man, that's a dangerous word on this show. Yes, it is.
No.
Jay flashed food on the screen. It's Jay's
Yes,
fault.
he must have been hanging out with Emily and her food porn. That's why. It's I mean, not Emily, Amelia.
Also,
Amelia serves food porn, y'all. In case y'all didn't know that.
I've only been to Cracker Barrel twice.
I love Cracker Barrel. Do you have one out
It's
in
too much
LA?
of an overload. I can't go.
I haven't seen one in LA. No.
You need to go to one. Really?
They're okay.
I have an In-N-Out burger 2 blocks from me. The highest traffic one in the world.
How do you eat them nasty hamburgers?
They're not nasty.
They're supposed to be really good. We don't have them on the East Coast.
Oh man,
I
wish they did. They know what a burger is out there. Damn,
had
it's
one
like
in
veggie
2020,
thing or
man.
something.
In Provo, Utah.
Reminds me of the veggie burger.
And then
from
they were playing
Burger
games
King.
with how you could pick it up because it was COVID and whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna eat your burger.
And that was what was that place in Provo? I was in Provo.
Yeah, In-N-Out burger.
Oh, they have them in Provo?
Yep, I never had one, and then they had one. I was like, wow,
Did you try it?
No, because they were all it was COVID, so it was all messed up. It was like there are rules for picking up, and you have to order ahead of time. I didn't know any of that because I just
You have to know like the secret
hotel.
menu. You get a double, or if you're like really hungry, you can get a 3x3, or you get like John will get like a double animal style with the fried onions, and they have like secret sauces. You have to know the secret menu to get the good
love a good burger. Love a good burger. We don't have like over here. We got Five Guys.
Strange.
Yeah, come to Five Guys Burgers. You have one out there in LA?
Five Guys is okay.
They're okay.
But see, Five Guys is inconsistent. See, very first time I ate at Five Guys, it was horrible. Then the second time I ate it was pretty bad. Then we were in Fairhope, Alabama, and I was starving. I wanted a hamburger, and they were only hamburger joint. And I was like, shit. So we stopped and got it. It was fabulous. It was a fabulous burger. The fries were fabulous.
Yeah, the
and
fries
that's
were
what I got. So what I learned is don't eat them anywhere around New Orleans because they're disgusting. Don't eat them anywhere around Gulfport because they're disgusting. But for some reason, in Alabama and Florida, they're really good. I was like, but we have Frost Top here. Screw all of that, man. Frost Top's the real burgers. I grew up the Frost Top root beer with the big burger. I mean, the burgers just been around to start off with. I mean,
How do you feel
I grew up on the.
You loved it. I almost took y'all there.
You go to a diner and then the burgers in a diner are always
the diners are.
Well, right now it's cheaper to eat in diners in most places than it is in fast food restaurants. Even Mickey D's is $14 for a quarter pounder.
Oh my God! I got. Check this out, Mickey D's here in Pittsburgh, right? I got a Big Mac. I got a Big Mac and 2 Big Mac combo meals, right? $26.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, see, you could have went to a diner and ate some real food.
Don't buy food from a clown.
See, but down here is different because every bar in both states serve food. It's a law. You can't serve alcohol unless you serve food. So everybody's cooking. So everybody's got their own big hamburger, their own big.
It's always, you know what? It's nice. You're right. Going to the little places, the mom and pop. Versus,
some of them are really good.
I mean, when I'm traveling across the country, I do Starbucks because it's consistent coffee. I know what I'm going to get. You know what I mean? But when it comes to burgers and whatever, man, it's always great to what's the best burger joint in town? You go there, and you're always going to have a great experience. It's just nice.
Yeah.
You know, there was 3 places in LA I drank coffee. All 3 of them were pretty good. Actually.
You told me about that chili place, man, the Continental Divide.
Oh, yeah.
And when I went there, I was like, Joe sent me. They were like, what?
That's right. Say, damn, Joe sent me. That's the best chili I ever ate, man. I don't know what
guy, Joe.
I have no idea what they put in that chili. That shit was good, though. It's,
Jay, this is all your fault. You flashed some food on
That's
this.
right, Jay. Yeah,
They were looking at me like, huh?
You're going to have to go host with Michelle now.
I'm like, Joe sent me. I want the chili.
But I mean, it's like if you go to Swamp Room down here, the burger's this thick. And, you know, they'll ask right off the bat how you want to cook medium rare.
Well, yeah.
But they never say, well, by the way, there are restaurants down here that will not cook you a well steak or a well hamburger. They will ask you to leave first.
No, that's
good. If it's quality meat, that's a waste of meat.
I know. Get out of here. We're not doing that here. We don't burn anything. We're sorry.
And then they put ketchup on their steak. I know people who do that. Put ketchup on their steak.
That's Trump. Trump does that.
That's gross. That is so
What's
gross.
Ketchup?
That's gross.
I want it mooing and dripping at the same time.
That's what I want. Hey, here's the deal, right? Put a steak on the grill. 3 minutes on one side, 3 minutes on the other, and I'm ready to eat it. Yeah.
Now, here, this is my OCD right here. My last relationship, I was challenged saying, you don't know how to make a steak. And so you know what I did? I went to the New York Culinary Institute, which wasn't all that far from me, and I took the course, how to make a steak on the grill, inside, in a broiler, whatever, man. I make the best steak, the best. I had to select the meat, which is you got to get that marbling in the meat, which is the beef butter, and then look for all that. Yeah, man.
Well, so y'all know, if you go to any hotel in LA, it's $50 for a hamburger.
Are you serious? $50?
It's very expensive.
But they do say it's wahoo, woohoo,
wagyu,
wagyu,
whatever the hell you call this stuff. They always say that's what it is. I say, guys, it's bullshit because I eat by the time home. It tastes better. So don't tell me that. It's,
talking about wagyu.
It's actually, I think, $40.
Nasty as hell. It is.
Well,
all it is white marbling. There's no red meat in the damn thing.
There's a lot of fat in it, but
yeah, that's not good.
It's I have noticed that Japanese steaks actually taste different from province to province.
You want flex, the flex of Sean knows that's what he does. The flex of the fat. That's what you want in
We're blaming this on Emily, by the way. So when this comes
blaming this on Jay. Jay flashed food on the screen. It's his fault. And he's just sitting all quiet behind his turned off camera.
He's seeing I'll be good.
He's a Cracker Barrel.
Chris,
yeah, I'm sorry about that, but yeah, I had to, and I usually start the food conversations anyways, and Joe gets mad at me for that.
Yeah, he does. He's always in trouble for that crap.
Yeah, Jay, your fault. It's all your fault.
We're blaming Jay. That's right. We're blaming.
I'm going to have to go out to California to get an In-N-Out burger now.
Yes.
Damn.
I'd send you one, but it just won't be the same when it arrives.
Jesus, with me anyway.
We'll be in Arizona in about 20 hours, so we'll have In-N-Out burgers all day this weekend.
I had to rob the poor staff people last year just to get one. It's just sad. And then I felt bad, didn't take it. I know, it's just sad. I know, Glenn, she's mean. Like, they won't even give you a little cheesy old hamburger. I know she's
no. If you're in Arizona, you want to have a whole burger, man. There's nothing like it.
I want one of them mammoth burgers. Jay keeps ranting and raving about it. I want to
have a whole burger is like a pound of meat, man. They put the big green chili in there and the whole bit of meat.
Why in the hell would you guys want to eat a hamburger that's a pound? My God, that's gross.
Because we're hungry.
What do you mean?
Because we're hungry.
It's gross. Give me a 3/4 pound, maybe a half a pound, not a pound of ground meat.
Okay, I don't need more than a half a pound for ground meat.
You need that protein, man.
I want 2 pounds.
It's gross.
Pound and a half.
You get meat sweats, man. You're so full, you can't eat.
I want a steak that's so heavy I can knock somebody out.
For the French fries.
Damn straight you need to.
Don't beef shame us, man. We drive the economy with our overeatedness. You know what I mean?
I eat them sweet potato fries.
You're the one telling me about what to buy, Sean. So don't tell.
That's right, Sean.
Get this type from the shoulder or whatever.
And now you know why these people watch this show, because they never know what's coming out of anybody's mouth at any given time. Jessica,
this is why this show is so unique, Emily. We just talk about anything.
Go to
I see that.
Go to YouTube. No.
I mean, no. The fries are important. The coleslaw is important. Come on, guys.
Right.
Seriously,
I'm hungry.
see, Emily agrees.
I'm hungry too. I'm gonna slap Jay's ass next time I see him, man. I'm just
I'm all hungry, man.
Oh, and her husband's over there probably eating good. No, it's
I
kind of
know,
late.
John. Right, I got off the phone with him right before I logged in here, and I said, "Oh, what are you doing now?" He goes, "Oh, I'm going to get some New York pizza."
Yes, and he's gonna go get some good one though. And John, he ain't gonna play around. He gonna go get him a good pizza.
He's gonna get a good.
Chris, what are you talking about? I know we're talking about our husband, John. Yeah, he's in New York.
The one unique thing about the city, especially, is that you can get good pizza anywhere, basically. As long as it's not Pizza Hut or anything like that. Domino's. Right. You go into some regular old place. It used to be like St. Mark's was my go-to. I know they had closed down. They were trying to reopen. They've been there forever, but it was like when you have that one place that you go to, and then you're like, it's like that. But there's so many. I mean, it's hard. If they're not good, they don't survive and they go out of business. So it's kind of equal.
Well, let's see. Let me see. I've had pizza in LA. I had pizza in Seattle. I've had pizza in Chicago a couple of times. I've had pizza in New York a couple of times. I've had it in Miami. I've had it in New Orleans.
New York's got the sushi. I mean, New York's got the best.
I got the best pizza story going, guys. I'm sorry. I was stationed in Holyloch, Scotland. Okay, and at this dive fish and chip place right on the corner, they served pizza, and they would deep fry their pizzas. Deep fry.
You have arteries, right, man?
Now, did they deep fry just the bread or what? Like the whole thing?
The whole pizza.
The cheese and the everything.
Everything. Wow. Everything. And in the
Are the Scottish known for healthy food? I'm trying to think, man. The haggis,
but the grease they put it in is where they cook all the fish and chips at, man.
They eat all the innards and outwards and.
Hey, haggis is good. Don't knock.
I'm not going to knock their lifestyle, but I will. I'd rather have tofu.
Well, I'm not saying anything about eating anything because they eat everything down here.
I'm not doing haggis.
Haggis is good.
See.
Haggis.
I'll eat boudin.
It's all organ, but you're from the scrapple state, man.
Scrapple's good here in Pennsylvania. That's where they invented.
My mom told me what scrapple
I don't even want to know what scrapple is, man. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. People don't tell me. Audience members like we don't want to hurt your ears. I don't know what's coming.
It's similar. It's similar to Spam. If you like Spam,
I can deal with Spam.
Scrapple's brains. It's brains.
Scrapple's everything. But
Spam, special processed ham.
I'm not a zombie. I don't want to eat brains.
What was that? Like a radio announcement came in there for a second.
That was me just emphasizing the Spam comment that the Spam stands for special processed ham.
So is there a dog in there? I heard a dog bark.
Yeah, my grandpa used to love to cook that shit when we were out hunting.
There is a dog in the restaurant, yes.
You should feed him something from the table. Here,
But Siri said for y'all to shut up.
Oh my God.
Siri,
that's Cracker Barrel.
It's one of those things. No Books a Million, but the website's right there. You should go to the website and buy it. I like when y'all buy it from the website and not when you buy it.
I want to get to the stars. They should just I mean, it's like I said, it's easiest to just grab it on Amazon, and you can grab the ebook or the audiobook or the book. But yeah, you can also go to Galaxy Press.
Yes.
Is it the same price?
It's going to be on Amazon right now.
Same price as it would be if I went on Galaxy Press to buy it?
It's well, you won't get the ebook on Galaxy Press, but the book, I think it's on a discount on Amazon at the moment.
Oh, so you go to Amazon, people. Listen to Emily. She knows what's going on.
Now, Emily, is that discount, is that Amazon's deal or is that your deal?
It's Amazon.
Oh, you have no say in that, right?
They drop prices sometimes. Like we've been promoting the book because it's the 75th anniversary. So sometimes Amazon, when there's like some traction, they'll drop prices on books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Helps out, get things moving.
Yeah.
And my most excellent girlfriend actually last year got me the last volumes of the Writers of the Future books, and they're on my desk in my office, and it's awesome. So I haven't gotten a chance to start reading them yet, but I can't wait to get into them.
That's
Are they
great.
signed? Are they
Yeah.
signed?
Say, throw that dog a bone, buddy.
You're pretty good at that.
I don't think I have any more of them. I had 3 of them.
I can start with Albert Einstein.
Yeah, I didn't keep one for myself.
Joe, when you're out here in LA, you're gonna have to get some extra autograph books for all
That's
your
right,
friends.
buddy.
Yeah, whatever. They're on their own. They better get out and write some stories or some shit.
Well, no, Joe, no. Like last year, he promised all his hosts that we were going to get lightsabers.
Fired?
Oh,
no, I never promised y'all no lightsabers.
We didn't get any.
Y'all get no lightsabers. Y'all ain't even allowed to play with lightsabers.
There's another guy I met in Utah. What's his company name? They have great lightsabers. I got one for my brother recently. It's the husband of remember the Illustrator winner last year, Joe? Jennifer Mellon from Utah.
Yeah,
Her
actually I did.
husband, he has a company. They make lightsabers. It's really awesome. Had all the sound effects.
We've been using that guy out of Britain to give them away, and it's a little harder because if you're over here, it's a little more expensive for them to ship them. And them damn things are expensive to start off with. I know it's 3 years now we've been using him, and last year I think they gave away $16,000 or $18,000 worth, but it's only because Kylo Ren's is $999. That's how much it costs.
That's a real buff.
And they gave, I'm not even arguing with you on that. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. It's got the side and everything lights, it makes the noise and everything, does the whole thing. When you move it, I mean, it's a great effect. That's a lot of money. And but like he says too, he gives away a couple of the big Star Wars fans ones. I think it's the purple Master Windu's. That one goes for about $700 or $800. I think Obi-Wan.
I've got one of those.
Wow.
And so they're expensive. But he also has a variety of them that are $100, $200. Just depends what you want. They have all kind of different hilts and stuff like that. And, he's got a huge variety. I met him in Salt Lake City when I was up there with y'all.
I remember that at FanX.
Yeah, that's where I met him.
You went and got one there.
Yeah.
You have a picture of me with your lightsaber. Remember that?
Miss Danger here. We're gonna call her Danger Girl. No, I guess
Danger Goodwin.
Danger Goodwin. Hey, that sounds pretty good. We could do a series or something, man, with some little quirky music. Yeah, y'all. I gotta stay away from you guys. Y'all are bad. And you know what? I think I need batteries for that lightsaber. Come to think about it. And no, Christopher, I'm not giving away lightsaber. I'm not giving away the pad. You're not getting the picture. None of that's getting away. But with that one,
Can't fight Darth Vader if you got no
Oh,
doors.
really? How much?
Pretty horrible.
Gwendolyn, how much do you think that picture cost? Yeah, I'm calling you Gwendolyn.
Whip out that katana.
Gwendolyn.
$5? Yeah, it's just somebody I know. They've been
Gwendolyn
after this picture.
Christy?
They've been after this picture of mine forever. It used to be on a different wall, but somebody said I should put it over here, so I did. I haven't hung it yet. But what do you think, Gwendolyn? $5, $25? What do you think it cost? If I told you, you'd just be like, shit. If I told you how much the one over here cost, you'd be like, what the hell? Yeah, let me put it this way. This one and the good one sent me, which is over there for some reason you can't see it today, is they're both insured. Along with some other stuff that's in here, yes. I mean, it's one thing to lose one, but if something happens and everything that was in this office went, it cost me a lot of money. And since I didn't pay for any of it, it would really, 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 really,
But
really
Joe,
suck.
you're rich. You can afford it.
I'm poor. I used to be rich. Now I'm poor. It's now I'm retired. That means I'm poor. It's how long I can stay retired, we'll never know. But that's what my cousin called me that day. He said, "You still retired?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "That's because your car's broke." He said, "When you get your car back, you still gonna be retired?" He said, "You're buying a truck, aren't you? I can tell." I was like, "Leave me alone, man." He's like, "How long are you gonna be retired for?" He said, "You want my boat? Want me to bring my boat over?" Since you're retired, you can take my boat out. And I'm like, "Yeah, you can do that." Really? I'm like, "Yeah, come park it at the dock in my backyard." She said, "Oh, that's right. You do have a dock in your damn backyard." I'm like, "Come park it. We'll take it out."
Guys, I gotta run because I gotta be somewhere at 7.
Yes, get out of here. Be
All right,
good.
Emily, nice meeting you.
You too. Very good.
Give the boss man a hug when he gets back.
And good to see you, Jay. And now you guys can go back to talking about whatever nonsense you want to.
Oh yes, we can because we're getting ready to turn it over to Mike. He's on next.
Yeah, Mike's on
next. Nice to see you again, Emily. I'll talk to you later.
All right, guys.
Be good.
Bye.
Bye. Don't forget to get this.
Yes. Go buy the damn book. No, really, people, it's a good book, especially if you like time travel. It really is. That was Emily Goodwin. She's the big boss lady. She's vice president of Galaxy Press.
She motivates me to finish my stupid book already.
She's really good at what she does. She really is. And she's a lot of fun to talk to, too. But she's got things she's got to go do. What is that? Dean Christopher Michael. Well, okay, Dean Christopher Michael. What can we do for you tonight? We're going to probably run over about 10 minutes. So what do you got? No, Jay is still pregnant. Yeah.
That's why he's at the Cracker Barrel, man.
So you know, if you ever seen, it's not what is it? It's a TV series Gene Roddenberry did, Andromeda. So if you ever seen Andromeda, there's a part of Andromeda where the guy who takes care of the ship, I can't think of his name right now, gets these things inside of him. You know, these weird looking animal people looking thingies. Yeah, well, that's what Jay's got, except they're going to grow into babies. Yes. I told him don't stick his finger where it don't belong. He don't listen.
Hey, Jay, when are you going to be back in Pennsylvania, buddy?
Monday.
Are you flying back?
He's taking. He told me he was taking a carpet back. Whatever the hell that.
Carpet ride?
Yes. Hey,
Jay, when are you coming back?
Another Navy
How
term?
you coming back? By plane?
He might not be able to hear you. Or he's shoving food in his mouth.
It's loud in there.
Christopher Reeves, really, dude. What are y'all with these weird names? Sometimes y'all get the weirdest names going on in these chats. No, but what do you mean? What am I doing after I leave here? I am probably going to eat.
I'm going to bed.
Yes, because Jay made me hungry and Sean made it worse. Yeah, they both on my shit list.
What are you going to eat, man? What's for dinner tonight, man? What do you have?
I had the shepherd's pie. I had the shepherd's pie here at Cracker Barrel.
How was it?
Was it good?
I like
it was. Oh, yes, it was good, but it wasn't as good as my recipe that I make.
Yeah, homemade the best. Man.
Hey Jay, how you getting home? By plane?
In Arizona on Monday afternoon around noon. I leave, and I'll arrive in Baltimore at like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How many stops do you got?
It's a one shot flight, so I don't have to stop anywhere, which is good. I hate
he's got to
changing
deal with
planes.
a time change because y'all lose an hour going forward. Actually, you lose 2 hours, don't you?
Yeah, because we're going to be in Arizona in Mountain Time here in about 16 hours or so.
So you're going to lose 2 hours coming back.
Catch a good tailwind, man. He'll be back real soon.
Yeah, it's weird. I leave. It's a 6-hour flight. I leave at noon, but I arrive at 6. But technically, it would be 4 o'clock for me.
That's about right. It's about a 4-hour flight. Because I know when I left, when I flew out of North Carolina to Phoenix, it was a 4-hour, 40-minute flight. It surprised me, man. That's kind of a long flight. It's like last time I took flights that long or longer was on military hops.
Hey, Michael, what's your topic on tonight?
Oh, I don't know. more of the same.
something about why is Jay gay on food?
I call it the conversation. That's what it is.
Oh, the conversation. No, that's cool.
Yeah, I was trying to get my friend on to talk about his book, but his mom's got some stuff going on. So I mean, looking out.
You can always talk about that damn skunk that's on your back porch or on your
skunk on the porch, man. Tonight,
I talk about that skunk. The skunk called
14 degrees. So skunk ain't hanging out 14 degrees.
It's 19 here, dude. It's 19
Fuck that,
here.
dude. What are you retarded or something?
The raccoon took my silk feeder, took off with it completely. Yeah. And then the skunk last night. The skunk and the possum were both out there messing around last night. Right? Cat was looking at that like, it's just right there. I don't want the skunk to be around here, man. It's something like, I don't mind them. They're cute, all that stuff, sure. But I don't want it around. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes they live under your porch, man. That's like one of the worst things you never want.
I've got a little black, fluffy, long-haired kitten that looks like the kitten from the Pepe Le Pew cartoons who walks underneath the fence and gets white paint on her back, and then she looks like a skunk. So I think for Halloween, I'm going to put a white stripe down her back and carry her around as a skunk.
Animal cruelty. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, so, but there's also bears around here and coyotes. You know, my sister has that picture of the coyote with a deer in its mouth, deer head, you know. And that's nature, though, man. That's nature. That's what you buy into. You know, there's bears all around here. They got, you know, one tried getting, didn't try it, but it went right to my niece's back doors, like she has French doors, you know. That bear could have just pushed against those flimsy doors. They would have been open. Her husband was on the other side with a gun, so he was kind of waiting, you know. But if you look at the video, you see the bear kind of walk up. Even her cat was out there. The cat was, you know, just not doing anything, just looking at the bear. But luckily the bear wasn't all that hungry because the cat would have been gone. You know, it's nature. And they're hungry. They come out, you know, they're looking for food. I put seed out for the birds, so that's what they're after.
Well,
It makes for good videos.
Shouldn't the bears be hibernating now?
Right now, but they're starting to come out of it. This whole week coming up is going to be in the 50s, basically. You know, from here on in, there might be one cold night, but not like tonight. Tonight's really cold. Tomorrow night's going to be cold. Tomorrow's only supposed to go like 22 degrees.
Eek, I'm glad I'm missing that. Jeez.
Yeah, you are. And then Monday it's going to be up in the 50s. So there you go.
Friday in Pittsburgh is going to be 62.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice when it's cold, then it gets warm like that, and you feel it. You know, you really feel spring, and then everything around you reacts to it. That's really cool.
Well, you know what, Michael? What's crazy about Pittsburgh is that it's the most gloomiest town in the United States. You don't get no sun. You don't. There's no sun comes through.
Yeah.
It's lucky if you get a little bit of sun coming in. But
hey guys, I'm gonna bail out. I'm gonna finish my dinner and coffee, and then we're gonna hit the road. So great show. I'll see you guys later. All right, meet you back next week. All right, bye.
Super safe. Bye.
We will. Thanks.
Christopher, what do you mean? That was Jay McNichols. Yeah. Jay McNichols. Yeah, he's a regular. Yeah, he's somewhere on the road.
Arkansas.
On the highway in Arkansas.
He's headed for Phoenix, people. Headed for Phoenix. When you travel, you know, I've traveled cross country many times. I enjoy traveling, so it's different for me. It's
people are nice in Arkansas. I had good experiences.
Well, Arkansas is the cheapest place in America to live. It's 12.8% below the norm. Mississippi, by the way, is the second cheapest place to live at 12.5% below the norm.
Wow.
No wonder people get mad at me when I start quoting prices what I pay down here. I was wondering why people got so pissed off. Now I know why. California, of course, is number one. I think Seattle is like number 3. There was a couple. There was one of them I was surprised by. DC was one of them. So you know, DC should not be considered a state. I don't even think DC should have electoral votes. It should be considered a city, not a city and suburbs. It shouldn't be considered a state. Given it electoral votes, it considers it to be a state. I don't think it should have them. A matter of fact, since it's not even a province, really, it's just the capital. I don't even think if you live there, you should be allowed to vote. I think they should take that away from you. No electoral colleges, no voting. DC should just be for the capital and nothing else. If you live there, that means you work for the capital. You want to vote, go somewhere else and vote. Baltimore or Virginia, which is where you're going to probably be living anywhere, isn't it, if you work in DC? I don't know, Peter. I just don't like the idea that DC gets 3 electoral votes.
Yeah, I agree.
DC, I don't think it's ever voted Republican. I don't think so. I mean, I'd have to check and see, but I don't think so. Let me see. Hey Siri. When did Washington D.C. get electoral votes? Okay, I confused her.
Yeah, you did the way you said that.
Siri's crashing and burning.
Hey Siri. Hey Siri.
She's not
How long has Washington D.C. had electoral votes?
Washington, D.C. was first able to cast electoral votes in presidential elections beginning in 1964. Its answer is from ballotpedia.org.
Oh, see, she's letting, she wants you to know where her answers are coming from. Hey Siri. Has Washington D.C. ever voted anything but Democrat?
Washington, D.C. has voted for the Democratic Party candidate in every single presidential election since 1964.
I rest my case.
Dictionary.com.
I rest my case. They shouldn't have electoral votes. That should prove it right there that they shouldn't be allowed to happen. You know, give those votes to somebody else. Give one to Virginia. Give one to somebody else, but they shouldn't have them. But we got to go, guys and girls. It's past my bed.
Hey, you'll catch me tomorrow night.
Yes, we'll catch Sean. We're going to go hang out with Sean tomorrow night and harass him. Yes.
Into the night, 8:10 p.m., 9:10 p.m.
We're going to bring some strippers over. It's going to have a party. We're going to bring some strippers and some crown, some pot. Yeah. Oh no, Sean can't have none of that. He's drug free. He's got to drink iced tea.
Yep, that's what I drink. Iced tea.
Long Island iced tea.
You can still look at the boobies flopping around there. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, on that note, guys and girls, we got to get out of here. We are looking for 2 female hosts. We have one that apparently is on vacation somewhere. But anyway, we are actually looking for 2. Political views can be anywhere from left-leaning center, or right center. I don't think anybody hard right or hard left would make it here for long.
Just know what you're talking about.
Know your politics.
Be real with your facts.
Just know your answers, and don't be scared. If you feel like you don't, use Google, use Yahoo, use somebody, or ask one of us. But don't try to bullshit your way because it's not going to work.
Nope.
It's not going to work here. But anyway, sorry about that, guys and girls. Sorry about that, yawn. But anyway, guys and girls, we got to get out of here. Thank you again for listening to United Public Radio and the chat. Cat chat. Yeah, kiss my ass with the cat chat. Good night, everybody.
Good luck.